Now. Is Socrates. He's on the move, and they're going to look for Socrates in the corner. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's going to wind up a receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Okay, moving in. Sent one on goal, and he scores! And it is a power play goal!
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxin. Yoxin with the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
Smith delivers. That's hit back toward the mound. Weiss has it in short. He steps on second, and the ball game is over. Massapequa Coast has won the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship.
Live from Edison High School in Edison, New Jersey, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into debut coverage of Jersey Sharks football in the League of All Leagues, a premier home for semi-pro summer football. Tonight, the Jersey Sharks, fresh off of a season-opening victory on the road, usher in the home portion of their schedule with a showdown against the New York Bears, making their LAL debut this season. Hello, everyone. My name is David Pizzuto, and joining me is John McCooch. We are about 15 minutes away from kickoff, and so we welcome you to the Jersey Sharks PDF pregame show. Tonight, the 1-0 Sharks take on the 1-0 Bears in an early season showdown, a game, John, that a lot of people would have loved to have seen happen 9 months ago, but they get a chance to square off today as part of week 2 of the LAL's regular season.
Well, you have two teams that had such a good first week facing off right after. That's always exciting
is what we have today. But, of course, you mentioned what happened 9 months ago. Championships for these teams, both of them winning that in their respective leagues. And you get to see two teams that know how to reach the mountaintop facing off early in the season, which is exciting, of course. But that also means a ton of pressure for them to play at that high level this season. Obviously, only one of these teams can come out on top.
That's right, John, and this is the one and only meeting today between the two teams in the regular season. So despite the fact that this game takes place in mid-August, it could have a profound effect on what happens in November when the teams eye the playoffs. John, both these teams are 1-0, and we'll talk about their impressive wins a week ago. But let's rewind to last season. The LAL was jam-packed with talent a year ago. A veritable who's who of semi-pro in the tri-state area. The Brooklyn Seminoles, the Brooklyn Pharaohs, the Harlem Gators, the East Penn Raiders, and so many more. And the Jersey Sharks beat them all. They were sensational a year ago, and they capped it with a national championship as well. How were they able to do it?
Just to hit on that LAL competition, football in the LAL is a great show. That's what they put on last season. We're getting that yet again so far. Ton of talent in the league, and these two teams right here, that's the top of that talent pool. And obviously these teams know the stakes playoff-wise, but early game to have circled on your calendar with these two teams. They've both reached that mountaintop. But Jersey Shark football, when it came to winning that championship, it's all defensive football. Sometimes this offense can take a while. You saw last game, the run. They were talking about the run and trying to get that going early on. But defensively, it's always a stalwart squad. These Sharks, they smell blood in the water from the get-go. Defensive line, they blitz, and they just hunt every time. Their defensive line was strong in that last game and in that championship, and their ability to stop the run is a huge reason why they were just so dominant in every game last season.
Yeah, nowhere was that defense on display better than in last year's championship against the Seminoles. And last week again, John, they pick up right where they leave off. They make the trip to Granny Road to take on the Long Island Red Devils, a team playing with a purpose, and they made it look easy, scoring a 32-7 win. In a game, John, where they did kind of take their foot off the gas in the second half, as you see on your screen the results from last week. They made a statement that this Sharks team does not plan on missing a beat in 2024.
Exactly. The Sharks went out. They showed why they fully plan on repeating the same success that they had last season. This team plays fast. They play hard. And they showed exactly why they're at that top. And they're one of the top teams in the league. This defense flies around the field. They create pressure every single down, and they disrupted that Long Island offense. And yes, you take your foot off the gas. That'll happen early in the season. You're still trying to get going. But that can be a concern when you have to play a team like the Bears, and they never let up. But that intensity will come when you play tougher teams like the New York Bears we see here today.
Yeah, now, John, the Bears may be new to the LAL, but they are not new to semi-pro, and they are not new to winning. This is an established program that lost 2 years during the COVID pause, but they came back and were a part of the Elite Football Alliance beginning in 2022. There, they were terrific in their first year back. They ended up losing a heartbreaker in the semis to the eventual champion Brooklyn Pharaohs, but they came back last year in the EFA and just blitzed through the league. 10-0 last season and outscoring their opponents 270-45. I mean, you're not going to find a better season anywhere, and yet, even though you could see them at the top of the standings right now, they come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and with something to prove, right?
They got a ton to prove. When you look at the EFA versus the LAL definitely you view that as a higher level of competition when it came to this level of football, but at the end of the day, football is football. So you can sure dismiss the success of the team based on the level of competition, but that all goes out the window when you got 11 versus 11 on the field. The Bears have an opportunity to prove they belong in this LAL, and they can establish themselves today as one of the better teams in the league. The Sharks believe they're right there with them. And when you outscore your opponents, I mean, that's an absurd number that you just said right there. You have to wonder if this Bears team is just that good, or is it because of that inferior competition? But again, when you get between the hashes, when you get between the trenches, it all ends right there.
And like the Sharks, John, the Bears put up a good foot forward in their LAL debut last week. They shook off the Central Jersey Vikings 28-7. You saw that on your screen earlier. It has them feeling good about this one, and it was a good warm-up for what should be an elevated level of competition in the Sharks.
Absolutely. They just played hard at that one. They showed that they can hang in the LAL. Their intensity, that's what stood out to me when watching back that game. It is clear they want to prove to the rest of that LAL that last season was not a UCF-type situation where you dismiss their level of competition. They played inferior competition. This is a test for both of these teams heading into the rest of the year, with this being a matchup that you look forward to. Both teams know the stakes. They know how difficult it is to win a game like this. So you're going to see a very tight, competitive game today, but look for which team gets the run stuff going first. That's who's going to win the game.
Great stuff, John. Plenty of things to follow as we get ready for kickoff here in Edison. What we will do is throw it to our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll take it down to the field level, where we will be joined by Coach Mora and a few other guests as the Jersey Sharks make their home debut debut against the New York Bears. It's all coming up on your home for Jersey Sharks football. This is the PDF Sports Network.
Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's comfort provider since 1987. With over 100 factory-trained service and installation personnel and a fleet of over 100 vehicles, we are able to service our customers faster and more effectively than our competitors. Our team of customer care professionals are always on call for an in-home consultation. If you and your family are in need of an installation or service completed by expert technicians, done professionally and efficiently, you need Edison Heating and Cooling. It's what we do.
Representing a seriously injured person requires a lot of research and preparation, but it also means giving hope to the client.
Lombardi Law is always there for you whenever you need them. You can count on them at all times. Lombardi Law gave me hope when I had none.
When you hire the law firm of Lombardi & Lombardi, you're not just hiring one attorney. You're hiring the education, the knowledge, and the experience of all 10 attorneys in this law firm.
Lombardi & Lombardi, representing seriously injured clients since 1973.
This facility the best because there's 5 fields, so you can kind of see a bunch of games going on at the same time. And even though you're looking at certain kids, somebody else can catch your eye at the same time. So it's nice to be able to kind of have a little mind and see people. And we're looking for people that are athletic and can play multiple positions, that are getting dirty, that are playing hard. We want to see a lot of athleticism. That's something we at Fordham are looking for. But at the same time, obviously, we always need pitching. You always need people who can hit balls over the fence. So we're looking at a little bit of everything.
Nice job. Hey, keep making adjustments. We got to keep grinding. You got to find a way with 2 strikes to put the ball in play.
We come to Team New Jersey because it's a local tournament, not too far from our home base, and it brings in some great teams from all over the country. We're looking for that unique player, and with those traits, if they have all these different things that they can put together, then it's going to show. It's going to show above everybody else, and that should be everybody's goal. That should be every player's goal, is to say to coaches, hey, here's how I can help you.
Welcome back to Edison High School in Edison, New Jersey, a site that doubles as the home field for the Jersey Sharks of the League of All Leagues. John McCooch here with you, and my broadcast partner is downstairs fieldside swimming with the Sharks. Let's throw it down to Dave, who is with Sharks head coach Louis Mora.
All right, John, I am here with Coach Mora of the Jersey Sharks. Coach, first and foremost, your home opener after a big, impressive win last week. How great is it to be back home?
It's great. We've been waiting for this for a long time. That away game was pretty horrendous, going about 3.5 hours all the way out to Long Island, but we're ready for this. We're playing against a championship caliber team, won the championship last year in another league. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think my coordinators have these guys ready to go. We're going to be 100%.
All right, I want to speak about the Bears in just a second, but backing up to last week's game, pretty impressive 32-7 victory. You took care of business against a team playing with a purpose, the Long Island Red Devils. Tell me a little bit about your takeaways from that game, things to work on for this one.
Right. Well, we started off pretty good. Then we got slowed up a little bit, but I think that's attributing to not having a preseason game this year. Once we got our timing going and things like that, we were able to pick it up, score some points, and come away with a good victory, solid victory.
All right, Coach, you spoke about the Bears and how talented of a team that they are. Tell me a little bit about what they do well that you have to stop here tonight.
Well, the quarterback likes to go deep. That's what we've noticed. They got a big offensive line, a big defensive line. I think what we have to do is put pressure on these guys and just watch getting beat deep. Other than that, I think we'll be able to handle it from this point on. Our defense is going to be tough. We got a good scheme going on offense, how we're going to attack them. Like I said, my two coordinators, Austin and Deshaun, those guys, they cross the T's, dot the I's. They're so ready for this game. I really feel like we're going to have a good one.
Excellent, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks for joining us, John. That's Coach Mora looking for a big Jersey Sharks victory here in their home opener. We'll send it back up to you. When we come back, we'll talk to some players.
Great job, Dave. Coach Moore looking to keep the win streak intact against the red-hot Bears team. Dave is now with his second guest on the offensive side of the ball. Let's throw it down now to Dave, who is with running back Stephen Jones Jr. Take it away, Dave.
All right, John, I am here with star running back Stephen Jones of the Jersey Sharks. Stephen, amped up for a home opener here, coming off of that season last year, big championship. Tell me a little bit about the motivations coming into this season for you guys.
Well, one of the biggest things is we got some of the same guys as last year, so our chemistry is well intact. So we're not starting from ground zero. So we coming into this with the motivation going back to back because we got the tools and we are the team to beat, honestly. So we highly motivated right now. Everybody's highly confident. The first game went well, and this game right here just going to catapult us to the championship.
Absolutely. And speaking of that game last week, pretty one-sided victory over the Red Devils, but a tough trip there. Tell me a little bit about your takeaways from that game that leads you into this one.
Well, from last game, we still had to get through our bump and bruises. We didn't have a preseason game, so we had a couple new guys that we wanted to try out for the first game, and that really counts. But we got over the little adversity, and we, like you said, we came to a victory at the end. So the first game, I give it a B+. This game's definitely going to be an A+ today.
Right, and one thing I noticed about this Jersey Sharks roster is the running back position, a lot of depth there. And against a team like the Bears, that serves you guys pretty well. Tell me a little bit about their team and how you want to attack them today.
Well, today, we want to establish the run game. First game, we couldn't really establish it based off of them running cover zero against us loading the box. But this game, we trying our best. Like you said, we have a loaded backfield. We have a lot of running backs that go to slot. So we're going to establish the run game, work on moving the chains as usual.
Absolutely. Steven, it's a pleasure talking to you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Stephen Jones, star running back of the Jersey Sharks. John, we'll throw it back up to you. When we come back, we'll get a player on the defensive side of the ball.
The Bears were one of the best defensive teams in the region last year. We will see if that Sharks offense with Stephen Jones Jr. can put a dent in that Bears defense. Speaking of defense, Dave is now with Derek Carden of the Bears defensive unit. Let's see what he has to say. Take it away, Dave.
John, I am on the field with star cornerback Derek Carden of the Jersey Sharks. Derek, how's it feel finally getting to this point in the season, your home opener, after a big championship win?
It feels great. I won't lie. It feels great. Home opener against a championship team here in Edison, New Jersey. It can't get no better than that.
All right. And one of the things your coach told us is that this Bears team, they like to throw it down the field. They like to go deep. Tell me a little bit about the mindset of the defensive backfield in a game like this.
I'm going to play my game. I'm going to make sure I communicate with my guys. I know we're going to come ready. We do the time. We put the work in. We watch film. We studied everything. We know their tendencies. We know what they're going to do. We know what they're going to throw at us. Just going to be ready to play.
All right. And Derek, one of the things that your teammate Steven told us is that you guys are the team to beat this year. You feel like you guys know that. Tell me about what it's going to take for you this season to complete it and do the back-to-back championship.
It doesn't get any easier, but we have the greatest coaching staff that's in semi-pro in our league right now. I believe it. We all believe it. We follow their lead, and they get us ready. We're natural athletes. This is what we do. But we follow their lead and their guidance to make sure that we can go back to back. And that's exactly what we plan to do.
All right, Derek, we're excited to watch you guys in the field. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, man.
All right, you got it. Derek Carden, star quarterback of the Jersey Sharks here, getting set for their opponents this week, the New York Bears. John, I'm going to come back upstairs. When we get back to action, we'll have kickoff here.
Great job, Dave and Derek, and we're going to keep it right here as the 2024 Sharks season on the PDF Sports Network about to get underway. Make sure to stay with us, and we're going to keep it right here. Sharks football. It's right around the corner, almost right here. And Dave has figured out the power of teleportation. We're right here.
Yeah, made it up here pretty quick, thanks to pre-recorded interviews. That always helps. But The Bears will be receiving first. They will go from right to left on your computer screen or from wherever you are watching this one here. Battle of 1-0 teams here. Anthony Maloney will get us started in just a few moments. And we are going to see the Jersey Sharks defense first when we come back out of this kickoff and get to see those starting unit in just a bit. Teams get ready to go. We'll also, John and I will keep you updated on some rules that are specific to the LAL as we get going in this game as well. So look for that. In the meantime, Maloney is set about 10 yards behind the 35, getting ready to get into this one.
Game is underway.
Line drive kick, it skips in, and it is taken at about the 15-yard line out to the right side, and a lot of bodies meet at about the 35, past that to about the 38, and that's where the Bears will have it 1st and 10 as we take a look at the Sharks defense.
First and 10 at
Julius Monster Toby, defensive end, holds things down. Amir Big Shark Kofer, the nose tackle, big man in the middle. James Bubba Bronco, defensive tackle, making up part of that defensive line, summed up by Snap Spann Jr. And then the tough linebacking unit, Dawson Ame, Eric Poly Marmalejos on the right side, and Kareem Stewart on the left, Mr. Disrespectful himself. The cornerbacks are Dimitri Wilson, number 24, and number 8, Derek D.C. Carden, who we got to speak to moments ago. DeMille Bowles, the free safety, and holding it down on the strong side, Tyson Stamper makes up the Bears' defensive starters as we get set here. The Sharks' defensive starters as we get set here for the Bears. Did I do that more than once? It might take a while. Rodriguez will give underneath, and he is met by a couple of blue jerseys led by Amir Kofer, who we just mentioned, but nothing happening up the middle, John.
And there's that run stuff we talked about a bit pregame as well. So I'm ready to watch Dr. Disrespectful today. Those nicknames are phenomenal. That's how we get it started here on PDF. But definitely that run stuff's going to be huge for both sides. I mean, these Bears, they mentioned the passing game, but these Bears can run the football too.
Yes, they can, and they want to be able to set the tone early with the run game. Starting running back was Raheem Ridley for the Bears, and he lines up behind Rodriguez, number 29. Hard to pick up with that jersey tucked in, and he gets to meet a couple of Sharks at the line of scrimmage. Once again, nothing doing. It'll be a 3rd down, maybe 9 on the play. After the first 2 plays yield just 1 yard. But, John, what we expected here from the Sharks, stout in the middle.
Exactly. That's Jersey Shark football right there. And there was nobody really blocking on that play. I mean, the Sharks just dialed that up quite well. Got 3 guys in there right away, stuffed the running back. You got a 3rd down and long now to start out the game. This is not what you want if you are the New York Bears.
And an empty backfield here on 3rd and 9 for Rodriguez, who has 2 wide receivers split right and left. In motion up top was Trey Myers. Trotting in a little bit closer. Rodriguez at first looked right. He'll stay right, and he gets knocked into by, once again, it was Kofer. Kind of threw a shoulder into Rodriguez, set him right down, and the Bears are going to go 3 and out.
That's just tough right there. They sent the rush. They sent a couple extra guys, and they get the sack. That's Jersey Shark football. They say they love to blitz, even on 3rd and long. You know the pass is coming. Send the pressure on these Bears. That's what wins them a lot of games. They get sacks. They love to get pressure on the quarterback. Got exactly that right there. Sometimes all you need is a little shoulder, too. You don't need to make the form tackle.
So the Bears go 3 and out and go -4 yards on their first drive of the game.
This is where you win or lose games right here when you talk about special teams at this level of football as well. You got a good punter, you can win a lot of games.
Rayshawn Roach is the deep man for the Sharks. Standing at about his own 20-yard line. Bears get some late substitutions that are filing in. Certainly respecting the leg of DeJuan Williams, who also plays the defensive line for the Bears. It's a pretty good punter, but he's going to have to play that one, skipping off the ground. Lots of pressure, gets it up, and does a fine job of letting it skip down inside the 40. The Bears will touch there, and the Sharks will have it 1st and 10 at their 38-yard line.
That's about as good of a punt as you're going to get in that situation right there. To bobble it, just got a great leg on it. But the Sharks do have some solid field position to start out with this offense.
Yep, so officially spotted at the 37-yard line. Sharks will start with their starting offense coming into the game. And there you go, anchored down by the quarterback, number 15, Chris Guolo. Behind him, S.J. Jones, who we got a chance to speak to during pregame. Lance Fisher, part of a 4 wide receiver set, along with Shamar Saru. They'll operate quickly here. Devin Hemingway, as we'll get through the rest of these as quickly as possible. Quan Smalley, the final wide receiver. K-Wack Wachter, the left tackle. Tobias, and then the left side. We go back to live action here, and the Sharks are going to have a 1st down on their first play of the game. Lance Fisher with the catch. Is able to get it about 6 or 7 yards down the field. Sharks work quickly. Didn't allow for the starting offense to be introduced properly, John. But you know how they want to work here, and this is Jones Jr. going up second wave, a second effort, third effort might have gotten him about 3 or 4 yards. As now we have a stoppage in play. Whistles blew. As you know, they had the 1st down marker at the 48, but the 10-yard sticks had not advanced. So maybe that's why, but there was a flag down on the play as well. Personal foul face mask against the Bears. So that'll be another 1st down after the end of the play. So 2 plays. The Sharks have gained about 30 yards here, John, and are sitting pretty inside the Bears' 35, and they want to go fast.
Offense already humming, took 2 plays to get all the way down the field. I guess sometimes the offense can move a little too fast right there as you get a stoppage of play. Obviously the penalty, but the Bears got to make a stop here.
Squalo out of the shotgun, looks in the flat and finds his receiver Smalley. Smalley makes a football move and dives forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Make it 5 even. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up.
There's a ton of talent on this field. You mentioned the 4 wide receiver set. They love to get these guys just in open space, make some guys miss, pick up yards, and they are just going down the field, moving down the field right now. Only took 3 plays to get all the way down here.
Chris Guolo continues to operate out of the shotgun. Now looks on the opposite side of the field. Has Saru, and Saru dives forward close to the 1st down, right at the sticks. I think they're going to move this one forward. No, maybe not. 3rd down and a couple of inches here, John.
They've hit the left side, hit the right side, went back to that left side, and they got it as well.
Yep. So head referee motioned for the 1st down. Now they'll move the sticks. Officially, that ball spotted at the 23-yard line.
1st down.
And perhaps the failure to move the sticks benefits the Bears here as they get themselves a little bit of a breather here as the chain gang has to catch up to the play. Just another one of the ways, John, where the Sharks just make you uncomfortable. Come right out of the gate, 2-minute offense, and have the Bears reeling here.
When you talk about a team that plays like the team they're named after, the Jersey Sharks are exactly that.
Pasquale, low snap, fields it well, looking corner of the end zone, extending, but a little too far for Saru. And the Bears there to finish things off.
Just a bit too far out there on the pass. I mean, that's a tough pass to make. Got a defender coming in as well. The safety was just creeping in and made a solid tackle to break that up as well. But just over the outstretched arms. They went for it all right there.
Sam Joe Naismith was the one who upended Saru on the way in. But it will be a 2nd and 10. First misfire for Chris Guolo. 2nd down and 10. They remain with 4 wide receivers, and the Bears are all sorts of offsides. They'll move this one 5 yards ahead of the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 as opposed to 2nd and 10.
Sharks get a bit of a gift right there. Cuolo, he played around with the snap there, though, but they needed that. Incompletion, 2nd and 10, tough to work with. They thought he almost had a free play as well. But they'll just take the extra 5 yards, no big deal.
Yep, so 2nd and 5. They repeat the down here. Criscuolo operating without the huddle here. Now they line up 3 wide receivers to the right side as the ball placed on the left hash mark. Continued shotgun set. Jones goes left to right. They want to find him in the flat. They do. Bounces off one tackler. Might have lost a shoe on that. And is finally bounced down at the original line of scrimmage, maybe even farther. This is going to back him up to the 25-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 12 coming up.
Isaiah Berrios-Smith just came screaming right through that, made a tough tackle when his team needed it badly to get a stop and get a tackle for a loss. Great job by Berrios-Smith to get in there.
So 3rd down here, a short 12 on the play. As that ball just inside the 25-yard line. First down marker at the 13.
The Sharks have to adjust as well. It seems like the Bears kind of have dialed in that bubble screen they've been using.
Trips right. They fake left. Now on the pump, they look towards the pylon, and that one is too far out of bounds. Pass was intended for Fisher. And it'll be 4th down from the same spot here. Sharks not feigning any sort of kick here. They will go, it seems. Now, we were told, John, that there would be no scoreboard operation here, but we do have a scoreboard operator in the booth with us showing 8:41 left on the clock. Now, we should mention official time will be kept on the field of play, at least to our knowledge, but that gives us a pretty good idea of where we are here. Sharks on their first drive. Will it stall here on 4th down, along 11, short 12? Criscuolo continues to operate out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers each side. Jumps up in the pocket. He is still below the line of scrimmage. Throws it in the end zone. That one's broken up. Really the only person who had a shot at it were the Bears in between a couple of bodies. But a nice rebound effort for the Bears defensively there, John.
Exactly. I mean, they started off that drive defensively. They got gashed to start it off. They had a tough penalty as well. To go out there, get a stop, get a tackle for a loss, figure out how the Sharks were going to move offensively very quickly. They figured out that bubble screen right away. I mean, Berrios-Smith is if they can give him an award for breaking that play up, breaking that drive up, give it to him because that was a great tackle as well. So now you're getting that chess match defensively. You see it here in the LAL. See the Sharks now, they got a counter. Yeah. They can create some bad field position as well.
We spoke about the Sharks defensively, and deservedly so, but the Bears were outstanding on defense last year and only gave up the single touchdown, just like the Sharks did a week ago against the Vikings. They give underneath and stood up once again, no gain. That time, the running back was number 38, London Whitfield, as the Bears also very deep in the run game like the Sharks. But the Bears have run the ball 3 times for 0 yards so far in this one. And in order for really any team to have success against the Sharks team, John, you have to be able to run the football.
And that's the thing that they're best at, stopping. So it's tough to beat these Sharks. It's what makes them so good. The one thing you got to do is the thing that they're best at, stopping. But, I mean, that's their calling card, stopping the run. And the Bears, they can pass. They got to do it now here.
4 wide receivers, good pocket for Rodriguez. He looks out on the near side. They will have a first down as trotting out of bounds was Jason Sisson Jr. So Bears with their first down of the game at their own 42-yard line. That time a good pocket for Rodriguez. John was able to survey the field, and Sisson was wide open.
And they called up a play. Just get the ball out quick. That's what you got to do when you start a drive like that. Have your quarterback get comfortable, get the ball out quick out, Sisson Jr., get up the field, get an open space. It's a great play call. They got to keep it going, though.
First down of the game for the Bears here. We are 7:30 remaining unofficially in the first quarter. Rodriguez again continues to work out of the shotgun. They give underneath. Now the fake and the throw downfield. It's intercepted right at the 50-yard line. That pass was very high, John, and we're going to get a look at who picked that one off. It looked like it was Tyson Stamper camping out.
Number 9, Tyson Stamper.
And right after the first major big play for the Bears, the Sharks respond right away.
Tyson Stamper, like he might have just heard for the PA announcer, making his stamp on this game early on. Went out, got a pick. Is he a pole vaulter? Is he a high jumper? He got up on that one. We're going to see it right here as well. They tried to play action, got some pressure, just high point, go get it, Mr. Stamper.
That pass was intended for Abalos in the middle of the field. That pass was a little bit high. You could see Abalos think about stretching, maybe not wanting to tip it, but Stamper was right there playing center field, and perfect job.
Looks like Aaron Judge robbing a home run.
So right at the midfield stripe, the Sharks take over. Fell on downs the last time, and in motion comes Jones right to left, but this will be a false start on the Sharks, so they'll back up for the first time via the penalty.
It's tough. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
It's tough starting out when you get a false start, though. But, I mean, that Sharks defense, we talk about them a lot. They create turnovers. It's what they do. When you create pressure, you're going to get plays like that with the quarterback. He's rushed. He's got to make a play. He thinks he can make a play. Ball just goes a bit too high, and you've got the secondary to go out, create turnovers, and catch interceptions. But that's what that pressure does. When you call up those blitz packages, you can make plays like that happen.
Inside of 7 minutes here to go. First quarter, Sharks start here, 1st and 15 after the 5-yard false start. Jones gets the underneath give, and the Bears are there, 3 in tow. And Jones looked like he might have squirted out of that one, but Deshaun Frazier said no, and a loss of another 3 yards on the play.
When you get a turnover, you want to capitalize, and now you're in a 3rd and long situation. It's tough to deal with.
Yeah, and getting back to an initial thought that we had earlier, John, the Bears, last year in the EFA, during the regular season, they only gave up 2 offensive touchdowns the entire year.
It's ridiculous.
And, you know, there's a lot of forfeits in semi-pro. They only had 1 forfeited game on their schedule, and they went 10-0 last year. So just outstanding defensively. Chris Guolo has to elevate in the pocket. He's down. Now, that looked like the turf caused the fumble, and it did, but a loss of 2 as the Bears get home on their first sack here of the evening. Gerard Revanche, another name that we're used to calling here for the Bears, and it's going to create a 3rd down and an even 20.
So there's your 3rd and long. And like you said, again, the ground did cause that fumble there. The Bears just said, anything you can do, I can do better. They create the pressure. They're doing what they do. And you mentioned the Bears defensively. I mean, that's a ridiculous statistic.
Yeah.
We talked about before how it might have been inferior competition, whatever it was. Again, football is football.
Right.
They went out, they got it done, they played the games, and we only allowed 2 touchdowns. No matter who you're playing, you're pretty good. You're pretty good at this stuff.
And then they took a strong right hook against the Empire State Demon Knights in the EFA championship last year. Fell behind 12-0 earlier, but ended up coming back, winning that game 35-20 to take home the EFA championship. That's all dead and buried here as Chris Guolo looks down the sideline. Nice job getting down to one knee was Smalley. Now he's short of the first down. Let's see. There's a flag down late. I believe Smalley made the catch.
Is that illegal touching maybe? He might have went out of bounds.
And that's a good point, John.
I saw the flag go out immediately.
But the flags are behind here, the play.
To see.
Oh, now some pushing and shoving here, and we're going to see some more flags. 2 guys involved. Now, John, while we have a quick moment, why don't we flash the LAL rules real quick about some of the things that maybe differentiate from some of the other semi-pro leagues. But they operate with standard NFL rules here, John, which means you have to have 2 feet to be in bounds. That's the major one. Of course, the fumble rules with advancement as well. They're still going to use the conventional kickoffs, as we saw start the game. But here's the big one, John. Reversed PAT rules. You get 2 points if you kick your extra point, and you only get 1 point for a run or a pass after the point, so after the touchdown. So that's the major shakeup in the LAL, and we'll talk about some of the other ones as we go.
And we'll see strategically what teams do. If you have a guy who can make those kicks, make those tough PATs, I mean, it's not as easy to find that as you see them in other leagues, in the NFL, and college football and everything. So it's interesting to see that rule change. We'll see if teams kind of opt for that extra point on the run, the 1 point, or will they go out and try that 2 point every now and then? It's interesting.
Yep.
It's definitely interesting.
And while we get this graphic off the screen, John, we'll take a look at the Sharks. They're on the bottom half and take a look at the cheerleaders and dancers as well. But I like what head coach Louis Mora has done with his team, John, getting them in the huddle, getting everybody back. getting the cooler heads in the game. There were penalties that came as a result of the play and then after the play. So there is a lot to be sorted out here with 4:47 to go in the first quarter.
And that'll happen again. Like you said, it was all after the play, well after the play as well. So we got to wait on signals and all that. But it also depends, did they throw 2 flags for that kerfluffle, that brouhaha before? They're going all the way back there.
Yeah, this ball's going to be spotted at the Sharks' 25-yard line. So it's going to be a 4th down
Much of this will be going against the
and
Sharks
35.
that will be pushing the ball back. But it will remain
So
at least in the stadium, I believe.
it makes me wonder, John, if that pass was ruled a catch or not, because this would make sense because it's exactly 15 yards behind the previous spot. So almost not taking in that catch into account, unless, of course, the flag was also against the Sharks, nullifying the catch that was made. And right now, anyway, the down markers do say 3rd down. Now, we have it as 4th. It's 4th. It's 4th. So we are correct here. Great job, Aaron Cohen, our engineer extraordinaire tonight. Vincent Massacol upstairs from us on camera duties tonight, so we thank Vinny upstairs. We are located in the press box. The entire crew here at PDF, we expect it to be on the roof of the press box tonight, but because of the threats of rain, we decided to park it right here. Probably a good move on our part as well.
Yeah, it's always classic to go in the press box here at these high school stadiums.
Maloney with a great kick. Gets into that one. It's going to be allowed to skip on the turf and take a Bears bounce. There is a flag on the play. The Sharks touch up at the 29-yard line. So that was a 46-yard punt with no return, but we will see what the flag is all about.
Looked like the flag came immediately after the ball was snapped, so maybe somebody could have been offsides in this situation. Not exactly sure.
And, John, it's something we also don't talk about enough when we cover semi-pro football, but special teams, a huge part of what happens here. And not a lot of teams have quality kickers, but when you have an extraordinary punter and place kicker like some teams we've seen have, it really changes the complexion of the entire game and also how you game plan with field position.
Absolutely. I mean, when you talk about going for it on 4th down in certain situations, if you don't have that great of a punter, in some situations you might as well just go for it anyway at midfield because you're not going to create a ton of field position. See how the Sharks kind of work punting? I mean, a solid punt back there. We'll see how this gets called, but I mean, field position matters so much more in this level of football, in minor league football, than you'd probably see in other leagues. So it's huge. A punter can win you games in a great way.
So a 46-yard punt with no return. So you'll take that any day of the week. And I think that's maybe part of the discussion of, depending on who this penalty is on, do you take the result of this?
Right.
Or do you force the Sharks to kick? If of course, it was against them. There's multiple conversations happening now. Coach Mora was there at first with the head official. Now he's gone over to about the 45-yard line. But important to get it right here in a 0-0 game where we've seen flashes from both sides. The Sharks on their first drive going all the way down the field but then stalling out in the red zone. And the Bears committing the first major mistake of this game via the turnover after it picked up a big first down. But the flag has been picked up, John, and there is no flag. They've waved it off. So the play stands, and the Bears will have their 3rd possession of the first quarter, unofficially under 4.5 to go.
So the penalty could have been on the Bears, and the Sharks just said, we're just going to take that punt, take that field position, because they got a phenomenal punt.
Yep. So they'll start at the 29-yard line, will the Bears. Once again, 3rd offensive possession for them. They went 3 and out on their first drive, interception on drive number 2.
So I think we can play football now. I think that's what we came here for, right?
I think so. And correct me if I'm wrong, John, but Rodriguez yet to complete. Oh no, he did complete one pass. That was for the first down.
Yes. That was it. The first down early in the drive.
It's a Sisson.
Yep.
So unofficially, 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Rodriguez in some discussion with perhaps Ridley, who has come back to his right. Indeed, that is Ridley. Now bounces over to Rodriguez's left. Lots of players in motion here. Bears go 3 wide on the near side. They go underneath to Ridley. And Ridley gets stood up by a host of Sharks, but first positive momentum via the run game for the Bears tonight. Gain of 4.
When you've got a pause like that, we had a huge pause right there. Teams can kind of get out of it. You can get into a bit of a funk because the game's not flowing. So now that they're getting back into the flow, that's when you can really establish the run. The Bears have a great opportunity to do that right there. Got a big hit out of it, did the Sharks, but you'll take 4-yard runs every day.
Yep, Bears saw something at the line of scrimmage that they reversed the formation, were able to pick up a little bit of room there on that right side. And right now on that right side is where Amir Kofer has made a couple of plays there. Rodriguez, Ridley right behind him. The give is once again to the right side, and it will move forward for a couple of yards. Running that time was Whitfield, who had come in. Couple of late extracurriculars ensue. Might want to get a replay of what happened there late.
Kofer was involved on the stop, but
not quite sure who was involved with that one. We'll get another look at it via the replay in just a moment. Let's take a look, John, if we could see what happens after this play. Looks like it's happening up there at first. Maybe not. No, now it's here.
It's moved around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Bodies tangling right at the 30-yard line.
Hand to the face as well.
Looks like just an unfortunate situation there at the 30. 2 Bears against 1
Kind of
Shark.
tumbled.
Yep.
Yeah. Might have tumbled his own teammate, actually.
Yep. But here we go. Interesting decision here on 3rd down and 2. A short 2 at that. Bears have to get to their own 39-yard line. That ball just past the 37, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Sharks. So the Sharks take the game's first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining here. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Bears came out with a different look. They've had those 3 receivers bunched out right. They've been flipping that, and that's been working. But so you probably they saw a different look, did the Sharks, and they got to figure it out. Like you said, interesting decision for the Bears. Do you stick with that run game, or do you try to get a quick pass out against this Shark defense? Because either way, it's a tough tides to go against these Sharks.
See on your screen the Jersey Sharks dance and cheerleading team treated us to a pregame show as well, and they'll be on at halftime as well. So great job by them. Of course, a big reason why this Jersey Sharks team shines. A great organization, John. You know, we talk so much in semi-pro. There are so many teams out there. There are some programs out there, and then there are organizations.
Yep.
And the Jersey Sharks are one of these semi-pro institutions. They do things so well. General management here, of course, the coaching staff, and, of course, full rosters every year, and just a great presentation for the fans in attendance as well.
Exactly. I mean, when you try to kind of build something up right here, you try to get some, more fans in the stands, and they've done a great job of that today as well. I mean, just great people, great organization. Talked to the owner, came up here, thanked us, everything like that. Got to meet him, so that was awesome. Had a nice blue suit on, too.
Yeah.
Really clean.
Looking sharp.
Absolutely. You got to be sharp when you're owning the Sharks.
Kennedy trots in late for the Sharks here on this 3rd down and 2, but the give is underneath, and that's going to be right at the markers. Looked like the Bears were short at first.
Straight up the middle.
At least here on the near side, they look short.
The official placement of the ball, as many of the Sharks got right there.
Look short.
This is going to
Yep.
come up
So interesting decision here for the Bears across the way from us, but they are going to line up quickly here, and perhaps with Whitfield still in at running back, perhaps looking to punch it through here on the line of scrimmage.
It's 4th down.
I like it. Oh, looks like maybe might have changed the play here. Got to communicate.
Oh, Rodriguez was moving over to the right. I thought he was leaving
Get a wildcat.
leaving the scene. Rodriguez also a threat to run himself. He has taken it down, but this is going to be a long snap count here, perhaps looking to draw the Sharks off. One more look at the wristband, but this will be a delay of game against the Bears. We'll back them up. So Coach Walker's team will probably have to punt here.
Thought they were going to go for it. Thought they were going to try to punch it in. I think you can do that. Go try to punch it in.
Yeah.
4th and 1, you'd be running the ball well. I think it was a false start.
False start. Yeah, we're getting the word there. And so big 4th and a long 5 here. So, and that brings us back to the point we were making before, John, about special teams. And, of course, when you have two very good punters, you don't mind punting in these situations, even at the 40-yard line, because you know you can switch the field with some of these punts.
1 minute, 42 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Late substitutions now have to come out of the game for the Bears. They're looking to get set up here. Play clock winding down here as we reach 1 minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Long count. Williams gets that one down, end over end at about the 40. It is able to find turf and is taken on the fly there just a little bit past the 40 to the 42-yard line. Nice job tracking it by Stewart. And the Sharks will take over for their third possession of this first quarter.
It's a dangerous play to try to return a punt right there. It comes up, it bounces. But if you can go get it, you go get it, pick up a few extra yards. Because every yard matters when you get that initial punt, try to get that field position.
Yeah, I'm going to see the Sharks huddling here. They did not huddle on their first drive of the game. Went in the 2-minute offense and really gashed the Bears down the field before they were hit with a 7-yard loss on a nice play by Berrio Smith in the backfield. And that kind of interrupted their pace for this first quarter.
Must have scripted those first few plays on that first drive, and now they've got to adjust, get off the script.
6th possession of the quarter here in this one. Criscuolo, short pass in the flat, does find his receiver, Cirio, I should say. And it's close to a first down, so a nice job with the yards after the catch, and the Sharks will once again play with pace here. Go with no huddle on 2nd and 1. Lots in the playbook to choose from here, but they give it up to Jones right up the middle. Ball is down. Ball was on the turf, and it was recollected by the Sharks.
That is a Shark first down.
I wonder if we'll get another look at that. We have time to look at it anyway, as the Sticks once again have to catch up. And I believe that will be the end of the first quarter, and it is. So we will step aside and take a short break here at the end of the first quarter. Word from our sponsors. When we come back, second quarter action between the Sharks and the Bears, no score.
Representing a seriously injured person requires a lot of research and preparation, but it also means giving hope to the client.
Lombardi Law is always there for you whenever you need them. You can count on them at all times. Lombardi Law gave me hope when I had none.
When you hire the law firm of Lombardi & Lombardi, you're not just hiring one attorney. You're hiring the education, the knowledge, and the experience of all 10 attorneys in this law firm.
Lombardi & Lombardi, representing seriously injured clients since 1973.
Welcome back to Edison High School here. We get set for the second quarter where the Sharks have a 1st and 10 inside of Bears territory at the Bears 43-yard line. Sharks on their third possession here of the game. Last first down picked up by Stephen Jones Jr., who we had a chance to speak to during pregame. Thank, of course, the Sharks for their time during pregame repetitions speaking with us. Part of 3 regular season games that we will have for the Sharks this season. Future games against the Red Devils, a second meeting with them, and then, of course, the Brooklyn Pharaohs come into New Jersey. Should be a great one there. Criscuolo on the far side, over the extended defensive back's hands, and that'll be good for a first down down the field. Quan Smalley has been very active there, and Criscuolo put it in the perfect spot.
Absolutely put it in the perfect spot. The Sacred Heart guy finding the hole, finding the place to put it, and Smalley went out and made the catch, and we'll take a look at it. Just drop back, find your receiver. He was wide open from the get-go.
Yep, and looking to undercut it on the play, I believe, was Naismith. But 1st and 10 here. And once again with the Sharks in the red zone for the second time in this game. A skipper to Criscuolo. He's able to get out in the flat to Jones. Jones trying to make one man miss, and is toppled over at about the 15, but good enough for 5 yards. As coming in to make the tackle was Uriah Clark.
In a defensive game like this, you got a chance getting into the red zone. You've got to find a way to punch it in if you're the Sharks. This has been a battle in the trenches so far. You call a simple play, pick up 5 yards too. But they got to find a way to punch it in right here.
Yes, and Chris Cuolo, of course, not a stranger to airing it out and putting the ball in the end zone. Did try a couple of times on the first drive here. 2nd and 5, we'll see what they do. They looked in the flat. Chris Cuolo thinks twice and tucks it down, maybe gets a yard or two. And I think that time he saw the pursuit coming in, and Bears might have sniffed that out pretty well there in the flat. John decides to just tuck it down. No gain on the play.
It's good awareness. You don't want to turn the ball over or cause a dangerous play here at all. I mean, they've loved that bubble that getting out to the flats as well, but if you see somebody coming, you go pick up maybe a yard if you can.
Ooh, and that's a big penalty here if it's against the Bears. It could be enough for a first down. Indeed, offside on the Bears, and we'll see if the yardage is enough to give them the first down here. It's just outside the 10, and they're going to say third.
Looks like you got it.
No, first and goal. Now, it's right outside the 10, John, so looks like they're going to say it's first and goal.
I think so. Might have been a yard, but they're just right on the 10.
So here we go. 4 downs to score here for the Sharks. Jones remains the setback to Chris Cuolo's left side. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Chris Cuolo looks right, looks left. Long snap count, fake give underneath, and the drop was in the flat to Sirio, but there is a flag down, and it looks like to be movement against the Sharks.
Ball start. That'll be against the Sharks.
It's tough when you're running those screens to be consistent every single time and avoid those false starts, but you had a chance there. Yeah, you backed up 5 yards. You're making a first and goal situation that much tougher. Caused by yourself.
LAL teams play a 7-game regular season, so there's not a lot of time to kind of figure things out with timing, with substitutions, with getting plays in and out.
Right.
And so little things like that you want to be able to tighten up. Get the formation here on this play, John. 3 to the left of Chris Cuolo, and now jumping out into the flat is Hemingway. Good some time in the pocket and unable to come down with it was Lance Fisher. Did have a step, and that was a well-thrown ball by Chris Cuolo.
It was just a laser on the run, right of the breadbasket. Couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, Fisher had to elevate just a little bit. Not the biggest in stature as Fisher, but that was one that he would love to have back.
Just wasn't able to bring it into his body. Went a bit high, tried to get it on the hands there, but it hit the arms.
Great look there. We'll go to 2nd down and goal from the 15-yard line. Berrio Smith was in on the coverage on that last play. This time Chris Cuolo looks left side in the corner of the end zone, and that one is too far extended. A couple of Sharks in the neighborhood. Looked like Sirio was there along with Fisher. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 15.
Right now it was a 1st and goal situation from the 10. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 15. That false start penalty was tough because they could have ran the ball on a 1st and 10, got a bit shorter, but when you're backed up 15 yards, you kind of just got to throw it. They had a chance. They had it. Just, you get the drop, but almost.
Yes, the second time. You can see Chris Cuolo looking left all the way, looking for that corner pylon, but a lot of traffic there, and that pass definitely a little bit too elevated. But second time in the game where the Jersey Sharks had it in the red zone, lost yards on the play, and never could recover. And here they are. They had a 1st and goal at the 10. They suffer the setback with the penalty, and now they're facing 3rd and goal from the 15. Can they rebound here and complete the first drive here of the home season for points? Chris Cuolo once again looking left side. That's a bullet in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Unable to come down with it was Sirio. And that's another one, John, that probably should have been caught. Sirio going down while trying to corral that in, but Chris Cuolo threw a laser.
Could have been maybe a bit behind, but we'll see it right here on the replay. where the fault goes here, but you had the opening, you had the space, just not in position to make the catch.
Yeah, a little unorthodox going down to the ground was Sirio trying to make that catch. You see it slow down here. He has to kind of reach across his body and unable to make the play.
He was still on the move, had to try to come back.
Sure.
It's tough to make that play.
Yep, going down too, but on 4th and goal, they will go for it here via the 15-yard line. We saw Maloney taking a couple of kicks there on the sideline, but they keep him on the sideline. And Criscuolo will once again look left side all the way, looking corner of the end zone, and that one is well overthrown and out of play. And once again, John, the Bears hold.
They do. They found a way to hold on. I thought Maloney was going to maybe try the kick. They were going to throw him out there. He was warming up, but they opt to go for it. Another situation, like we mentioned, where the Sharks got down the field, they got in position to score, they might have kicked themselves in the foot, and they just weren't able to make anything happen. A couple passes going all the way out of the end zone. Criscuolo trying to make a play, just didn't see anything there. Great secondary work by the Sharks, too, the Bears, too. They brought a bunch of guys back. No, the pass is coming.
Yep, and on 1st and goal from the 10, they opt to pass the entire way. Don't forget that drop there at the back of the end zone by Fisher that started that goal-to-goal series. But here we go. Rodriguez with nobody in the backfield now coming across via the jet sweep. The Bears operate there looking to get the edge. They cannot. As spilled down was Sisson Jr. So 2nd down and 13 upcoming here after the loss.
Bears try to get somebody in space, get Sisson Jr. in space. Couldn't get it done. But the Sharks, they got a chance to stand here because, yes, you do go for it, and now you give your defense a chance to create another good field position opportunity. If you can bring them back a couple extra yards, too, you got to make them punt near their own end zone. You got to make their special teams work. That's what the Sharks' mentality is right here. But
yeah, as good as the Bears' defense has been, you don't want to pin them back here. You'd love to get a couple of first downs at the very least here on this drive. Rodriguez will operate once again out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. He's looking left all the way down the sideline into double coverage. It is intercepted. No chance that time. The Sharks are able to go out of bounds at about the 50-yard line, and Rodriguez throws his second pick here of the game.
Shark was waiting in the water. Dimitri Wilson went out, made a play, waiting in the water, waiting and made the play.
Yep.
What a play, just hawking that ball all the way from the start. Rodriguez tried to make a play, trying to get the ball down the field because they want to get the ball out of their own end zone, obviously. Threw it into double coverage, though.
Yep, it was well overthrown and into double coverage. And it's one of the things that head coach Mora told us during pregame is this team is going to throw it deep down the field. It might take them some time to warm up to it, but they will do it. They will test our defensive backs. They need to be up to task, and there you go.
That's how you know they watch film. That play right there.
Reversing the field, Dimitri Wilson. And here we go. 1st and 10, just inside their own 50-yard line. Stutter step is Jones, makes a couple of Bears miss and is able to drop the shoulder down at the Bears' 45-yard line. Gain of 6 yards.
Surprising the Sharks haven't gone to Jones Jr. a bit more because every time he's gotten the ball, he's battling through the defenders. Maybe now is where they establish the run. They've tried to make that big play throwing the ball. Might just have to go down the field. Just break them.
Gave him an even 5 on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. And there's the give again to Jones. This time he does have a big pocket, gets into that second level quite easily, and gets the 1st down for the Sharks.
Jones on the carry.
He looks loose now. He looks ready to roll, Mr. Jones Jr.
Yeah, Kenneth Charter from deep in the secondary had to come in and make the play. You can see he's the strong safety. And we have a timeout called by the Bears. Their first timeout here with unofficially 9:02 remaining in the first half.
It's a good timeout by the Bears.
Yeah.
They got it done. I mean, they were getting ran over on those past 2 plays. You slow down Jones Jr., they had momentum. You got the timeout, you got to use it sometimes.
Yep. And, John, you know, we don't have the gift of live statistics for a game like this, but right now the total yardage completely in favor of the Sharks, but 0-0 on the scoreboard. The Bears have been able to get a couple of big stops inside the red zone, but other than that, it has been all Jersey.
It really has been all Jersey. I mean, we see 0-0 on the scoreboard. Neither team's been able to punch it in. But offensively, the Sharks, they've been moving, and now they've started to figure out the run just a little bit. It's starting to work for these Sharks. I mean, the last game, it took them a bit to get going as well. They ended up putting 32 points on the board that second half. They've been a second-half team when you base it off of against this game, too, and last game. So we'll see what they can do here. If they can get a touchdown here in the second quarter, go up 7-0, head into the second half, and dominate, that's what the Sharks have been doing in these past few games, even going back to last season, too.
Yeah, I believe the score was 12-7 at halftime. It was
Right.
either that or 18-7 at halftime a week ago against the Long Island Red Devils, but the Jersey Sharks able to put a lot of distance between the two teams in the second half. Scored a defensive touchdown as well in that game. So the Sharks able to get a pretty one-sided win last week, as did the Bears at home against the Central Jersey Vikings.
But this is what we expected. Maybe not the 0-0 score line, but this is a tight contest all the way into the second quarter, too. They've been dueling.
Ball's at the 33, 1st and 10 for the Sharks. It's Stephen Jones, fakes left, goes up the middle, sidesteps one defender, and is able to once again push forward for about 5 yards on the play.
Run that counter every time. Stephen Jones Jr., give him a blocker, let him run, let him work. And now they're getting closer to where they got into the red zone last time. They've been at this spot before. Third time could be a charm here down the field in Bear territory.
Second down, a long 5 on the play. The fake to Jones. Now they look again, corner of the end zone, and that one is overthrown. Looks like for the first time the Sharks were looking in the direction of Justin Weaver. But he was there lockstep with the defender on the play. Wasn't able to get a lot of separation. Here comes a big 3rd down and 5 as Deshaun Frazier is now slow to get up for the Bears. And there you see it. We'll get to see another look at it here. A lot of pressure for Chris Crollo on that last throw as well. Didn't have a lot of time. You could see how quickly defense was on him, but stride for stride there is really that would have taken a perfect pass, probably on the inside shoulder to come up with that one, but another big moment in the game here for the Sharks. Frazier gets up, albeit slowly, and heading over to his own end of the field. If the EFA had an all-pro team, John, or an all-American team, what have you, Deshaun Frazier, who's going off for the Bears, would have been a first-teamer. He was just a disruptive force last year for the Bears, a team that we got to see a lot on PDF Sports Network, covering all of the EFA and continuing to do so. If you were on our YouTube channel earlier today, you got to see an EFA doubleheader. Our good friends Joe and Nick were live there at Facina Field. We'll talk more about that probably at halftime. Chris Crollo, 3rd down and 5, looking in the flat. They need to make a couple of players miss, and on a second effort, looks like Sirio will be just short.
Sirio on the catch.
Be about a 4th and 3, maybe a long 2.
4th and 3 for the Sharks.
Another big play. This is outside of the red zone here, but just as important here for the Sharks that we have movement up front. It might have been the right side. The Drew hurt.
False start. That'll be against the Sharks.
And it will be against the Sharks, so that'll make it now a 4th and 8. So a different dynamic here on this 4th and long attempt here, John, and Sharks will have to get a little bit deeper in the playbook.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like they were going to have a 4th and 1. They took that shot on 2nd down thinking they're going to have that short yardage. They know they're running 4-down offense. Now you're at a tough one. And that's just not what you want to see. They had a very close play, very close decision to make.
4th and 8.
They could have ran the ball. Now they have to go out and dial up a pass, dial up a good look, get somebody out in space.
See if they decide to use the middle of the field, somewhere where they've had a little degree of success. They've been working predominantly out of the backfield and in the corners. Let's see what Chris Crollo has dialed up. He bootlegs over to the right, is looking on that side, and that pass was disrupted. Looked like Sirio had a step there, but defense gives chase. Nice defensive play by the backfield. And once again, the Sharks are out of this possession on downs.
This is great Bears football right here in that secondary. Chris Cuolo had to roll out to his right, and at the last second, go make a play. Get the break up, get it done. The Bears, they have been in this situation time and time again. Perfect timing right there as well.
We've said his name many times in this one, but Sam Joe Naismith making the play defensively. He's been all over the place in the defensive backfield. And the Bears, who have turned the ball over twice in this game, have been able to step up defensively. Sharks keeping them off the scoreboard, and here we go. They take over at their own 30-yard line. Rodriguez in the flat. It passes complete to Abalos. Abalos is able to gain the edge and get closer to the first down before he is thrown out of bounds, about a couple yards shy.
And it's time for this Bears offense to reward the defense. New York has gone out, gotten stops time and time again. The Sharks have gotten down the field. They've matriculated down the field, gotten good looks at the end zone. A couple drops away from being up 7-0 in this game. Now the Bears, they've got the ball. Their defense has made a ton of stops, giving them a ton of breathing room offensively. If there's a drive to capitalize, if there's a drive to reward the big guys and reward the DBs, now's the time.
Raheem Ridley in the backfield, fake toss to him, and it looked out in the flat. That'll go out of bounds, and that was a forward pass, so that'll be incomplete. Sisson was the intended receiver in the flat. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Almost technically a lateral almost.
Yep. And Jersey Sharks are arguing that here, but that did look like it was a forward pass. Not by much, but
could have went either way.
Yep. Unofficially, 6:26 remaining in this second half. And obviously plenty of time, but that becomes a factor as well. The Sharks will get the ball first in the second half. Ridley is the lone setback with Rodriguez to his right. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. 2 high safeties here for the Sharks. They crowd the box. Long play count here for Rodriguez. He looks to his left, and that one is too high and elevated in the direction of Tyler Petty. Had a big game last week, and it'll be 4th down. And it looks like the Bears will have to punt.
That they will. They got out of it. This Shark defense, that pass just a bit too high. Could have maybe had the first down yardage if you find him a bit lower. But the Sharks get a huge stop.
Yeah, Rodriguez, if he's missed today, has definitely missed high with his receivers. Hasn't completed much in this one. Has thrown the 2 interceptions as well. Dwan Williams comes in to punt it. Back deep for the Sharks is Rayshawn Roach again. He's the deep man. The up man is Robert Kozar. Williams has had to deal with a couple of bad snaps, and there's another skipper on the turf. Oh, a lot of pushing and shoving going on at about the 50-yard line.
We've got some extracurriculars yet again. He was standing over him. Couldn't see exactly who it was.
We can get a replay on that. We'll see it developing at just shy of the 50-yard line as that ball was up in the air.
Like Moquez Dickens was just standing over a New York Bear.
Well, we'll get the sense. Take a look at the 50-yard line and what's going on there. You could see them battling, the 2 players there. There they go. And that was Kareem Stewart for the Sharks. And Darren Jackson, it looked like, got tied up. But it was, again, it came on a short punt too, so a lot of the Sharks players, John, were screaming, get out of the way, because they did not want to touch that ball. And there were a couple in the neighborhood there.
They were.
Yep, and officially, John, I'm trying to do the math in my head here. That's about an 18-yard punt. So, and again, it's all because Dwan Williams has had to deal with those low snaps, picking them up off of the turf. Now, there is a flag as a result of all this, as expected. We'll see what develops here. Sharks are claiming it's against the Bears. The Bears are claiming it's against the Sharks. Somebody's going to win that argument. Coach Mora meeting with the officials there. You can see him right at the bottom of the E in Edison.
As we have 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first half.
I think based on where the Sharks are lining up right now, it might be on them.
Right, they are backing up. And that will negate great field position. Again, they had gotten the ball in their last drive at the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. Now we have a lot of rain coming down, and we got to think about our camera system upstairs, John, as well.
Right.
So why don't you take over the play-by-play call, and I'll go out and
all right, sounds
help
good.
our camera.
So we'll take a look. We got the weather team coming in. The rain's coming down here in Edison, New Jersey. Here at Sharks football, here on the PDF Sportsnet. Sharks, everybody trying to figure it out. Where's the field position? Who's where? But again, a missed opportunity by the Sharks to take advantage of great field position. They had an 18-yard punt to take advantage of. But now they're all the way backed up at around the 35, 36-yard line. Receiver in motion out to Chris Cuolo's left. See the camera working. Jones Jr. takes it. He's running. He's going up. Picks up about 7 or 8. Such a physical runner right up the middle. And picking up a ton of yardage as Dave makes his return.
Very brief. I don't want to call it a downpour, but it was definitely a very heavy mist. And I think by the time I got back off the ladder to the roof, I think it's like stopped.
Went away.
That's a little bit.
Saw a bunch of fans just run up all the way to get under some cover. Feels like that Florida rain just comes in and goes away.
Underneath, and Jones is able to find a seam. He gets upended, but not before he gets into Bears territory.
He's just barreling through every time he gets the ball. He's breaking at least one tackle. Just up the middle, give it to him, let him go.
Meanwhile, in the flat, that was a incomplete pass that went in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Rob Jackson, one of his first targets of the day. But, yeah, it's a heavy mist that's coming down. It is coming down rather hard now, John. Now we do have our camera operator, Vinny Massico, who's upstairs, exposed right now, but he's got some coverage on him, and we hope that this will be very brief shower. Otherwise, if it's sustained, we may have to move him down here with us. That'll be a little hairy. Stop, rain. Jackson is in motion, and meanwhile the give is underneath, and first carry of the game for Devon Hemingway. And it's a great run again, gashing the middle of this Bears interior defensive line. And did see that Deshaun Frazier is back in the game for the Bears, so that's a good sign for them. 3rd down and 4. Chris Cuolo with a lot of time, a bullet to the left side, but it could not come down with. That was incomplete, right, John?
That it was.
Was it caught? No, yeah, I guess it was.
Maybe it was.
No, I don't think it was.
I heard some oohs and ahs. I wasn't sure if that was because he dropped it or because he made a circus catch. It looks like they're staying where they were.
Yeah, so it was a drop. Now, I believe the receiver on the play is wearing number 87. We do not have an 87 on our roster, unfortunately. We do have an 81, yeah, so got to try to work on that at halftime as well. But it will be a 4th down and 4. Another huge play here. And can the Bears tighten up once again and get the Sharks off the field on downs? Chris Cuolo, quick pass over the middle, and unfortunately, Shamar Sirio could not come down with it. He was upended. Marley Singleton with the big hit, the low hit on Syrie to break things up. And seems like just a repeat of the same, John. These Sharks able to set things up with the run game, but the pass game just really hasn't been there to pick up these crucial first downs.
Especially on 3rd and 4th down where they've been trying to make plays. They haven't been able to do it. The run's working. They use 2 different running backs as well now for the Sharks offense. It's surprising they don't stick with the run a little bit more, maybe even on 4th down and short, 4th down and medium.
That's what I was going to ask you, Johnny. You're surprised that they haven't gone to the run a lot more on 2nd and 3rd down as well, not just 1st.
It's very surprising. I mean, when you have the Bears on their heels and then you're on third down and crucial downs. You're letting their defensive backs make plays.
Bears take over just shy of their own 40 and not much going on. I believe that was Ridley who continues to – no, that is Whitfield who gets back in the game. Got a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Offensively, the Bears, their run game hasn't been working as well as the Sharks has. Really, offensively, they haven't been able to get much going. Rodriguez has made some tough mistakes, has thrown some passes high. But now, again, they've got the ball. They've got it in all right field position, all things considered. And the rain looks like it's going away now. But when will one of these teams strike? It's got to happen eventually.
You think it might be on a major mistake or a big play down the field. This is Rodriguez. Near side now again to Sisson. He makes the play and gets the Bears first down. Maybe just inside the Sharks' side of the field, perhaps for the first time.
It might have been. It looks like it's going to be around the 47, 48. Sisson Jr. run that out again, get him some space, pick up a first down. And the last time they ran that play for about the same amount of yardage, they ended up making a mistake right after.
Right, the interception came on the very next play, I believe.
Yes.
But Sisson has had the 2 big first down completions here off of the arm of Rodriguez. Whitfield continues to stay in the backfield for the Bears, will once again operate with the 4 wide receivers. Long count. Rodriguez had a clean pocket and now runs out of space as James Bronco makes the play. Number 1.
James Big Bubba Bethea.
And there is a flag down. Might have gotten held into that sack.
You'd imagine you decline that penalty if that is what it is. But great way to create pressure. These Sharks send an extra guy, find a way, get it done, came off the edge. Give these defensive linemen one-on-ones, they'll get something done.
Yeah, so holding against the Bears, and might want to decline this penalty here. It is declined. It'll be 2nd down and a loss of 10 either way. So great job, and interesting story about number 1, James Bubba Bronco. He was listed on our roster as James Bethea. They sent me the starting lineup, and it had James Bronco on it.
Right.
So I asked James, what would you rather be called? He said, Bubba or Bronco. So we're going to go with Bronco.
There we go. We'll sneak a couple Bubbas in there as well.
Yeah. That throw deep down the sideline, and it was interrupted. Getting a hand on it with Ashton Barnes.
There was space for Juan Rodriguez to make a play there, make a throw. Faced a little bit of pressure, had to just heave it. Again, just too far.
Yeah, he's just been missing in this game, John, and unlike what we've seen from him in the past, that time has to step up into a pocket that's collapsing, but definitely too far extended for his would-be receiver on the play. Sisson, who's been the big target, is lined up in the slot on the near side on this 3rd down and 20. Once again, pocket collapsing. They work it off the screen and stumbling forward. Whitfield might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage.
That he might have tried to get a screen off there from the Bears, pick up some yards, make it a bit more manageable, but now they're really backed up. Missed opportunities for this offense, and the Sharks, they're standing strong right now.
I misspoke. That last catch made by Paul Ioannidis for the Bears, tight end listed.
2-minute warning.
But it is a 2-minute warning, so
warning.
That is an official stoppage for the 2-minute warning. So the Sharks will get the ball back. And by our count, and we believe it's accurate, they have 2 timeouts remaining. And based on the kind of snaps that Williams has had to deal with, Sharks might be able to get the ball back here with very good field position. Let's see what happens here.
I mean, if you have to take those punts low enough times, eventually it's going to go between your legs. And the Sharks could get a special teams touchdown eventually.
Number 15, DeJuan Williams, has done a great job corralling these snaps. That one does reach him pretty cleanly and gets it off just in time. Avoids the block. Sharks are in the area. They back off, but they will get the ball back just inside their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10, 2 timeouts, and 1:49 to go here, John, in the first half of a scoreless game here between the Bears and Sharks.
Yeah, when you headed into this game, when we did our prep, did our pregame and everything, and you told me it was going to be 0-0 at the end of the first half, I don't know if I believe you, because these offenses usually get humming at this point. But it's been tight. It's been contested. Yep. Usually when you say it's going to be a tight game, you don't think it's going to be scoreless. But here we are. Both teams have had opportunities to score, have had opportunities to get down the field, especially the Sharks in the red zone a few times already. The Bears have made plays time after time defensively. Their defensive backs get the gold star so far. The Sharks just got to run the ball.
These two teams did meet in a preseason scrimmage last year, a game that was won by the Sharks 13-12, a game that was played at the Bears' home field. Now, based on what you hear, there were a lot of reserves that played in that game. It wasn't a true, line them up for 60 minutes and play smash mouth football. More to see where both teams were, but this is fixing to be just as close. In motion, Sirier tucking it down now and scampering for a few yards is Criscuolo.
QB keeper, pick up
gain of about 1 or 2.
That'll bring up second down for the Sharks.
You got to think about the clock now as well. They've got 2 timeouts to work with.
Yep.
That run is going to run some time off right now.
Right now,
we'll see if they keep moving faster.
Right now, we are under 90 seconds here in this first half. Second down and 9. Criscuolo continues to operate out of the shotgun, as he will pretty much all game long. Shifting out to the left is Fisher. This is going to be a run up the middle, and once again, a lot of yardage there for Stephen Jones Jr. They will call a timeout here. So the Sharks have asked for time. That'll be their second timeout with 1:06 to go. And we'll get another look at this as Aaron is queuing up the replay. And it's something that's worked, John, in this game where the Sharks have been held scoreless. This running game has been very good.
It's caught a ton of yardage, caught that linebacker sleeping up in the middle as well. It's been working. Even though there's only about a minute left, I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep running the football and let this thing go out. If you score and get closer, you score. But if you let this guy Jones keep running, good things will happen here in this game. You just don't want to, him get too tired by the time you get to the third, fourth quarter. You've had him tote the rock plenty, but you haven't capitalized off it.
But you do get the sense that Jones is just, a hair or two away from just breaking one into the open field, maybe getting past that second wave. Give the Bears secondary some credit for taking down. Now, we met with Jones during pregame. He's a pretty big guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just a hair shorter than myself. I stand 6'3", but he's got some thickness to him, and it's hard to take down a running back like that when he is running at full speed. So credits to the Bears secondary for getting him down in the open field.
Yeah, I'm not a short guy, but I might need a step stool with that guy. That guy's you notice it right away. Shake his hand, feel it the whole time.
So the Sharks 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Bears once again will go with the 2 deep safeties here. They've put a little pressure on Criscuolo, have collapsed that pocket plenty here, but Criscuolo this time, once again under pressure, has to reverse over to his right, wants to get rid of the ball towards the sideline, and it's too far extended for anyone. It'll stop the clock at the very least. Pass was intended for Fisher.
That'll bring up
in terms of the exact seconds, don't have 100% of what it could be, but at least it's very least under a minute now.
Yep. Well, unofficially here in the press box, we have 57.5 seconds remaining. Pretty accurate, we would imagine here. And just a lot happening to Criscuolo's left side on that play, and he was forced to his right. So there wasn't really a lot of options for him. And once again, they'll line up trips on the left side, the near side here on your screen. They've tried to run that fade plenty of times to this direction of the field. Let's see, Criscuolo this time looks right all the way, middle of the field, and it was a little too far extended for Quan Smalley. Smalley, a couple of big plays earlier in this first quarter, but he's been silent since. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
That's not going to be a fun one for Criscuolo to watch back in the film room at all. That's one you could have gave Smalley some space. He could have broke one, got some big yardage, just too far out by a couple inches for Criscuolo. He's made a ton of nice throws today, but almost for Smalley.
think the rain has officially subsided here from Edison. We're thankful for that. Our buddy Vin upstairs handling our camera, probably just as thankful, doing a great job up there.
Third down.
But here we go, 3rd down and 10. The Bears trying to crack the scoring column, under 53 seconds remaining. They have 1 timeout remaining. Not a lot of time to throw for Criscuolo, but he does look far side of the field, and that one is caught. Do we have an official signal? We do. It's just beyond the red zone. Ball will be spotted at the 25-yard line. A great elevation and play. I believe Hemingway came up with that one coming out of the backfield. His first catch of the game. We'll get to see another replay of that. With the pocket closing in on him, Criscuolo delivers.
He absolutely did deliver. You make a mistake on the previous play, you make right up for it again. Criscuolo takes it, sees a receiver, you get the look, makes the throw right there.
And they get out of bounds to boot, and that one's a seam in the middle of the field. Moves being made. There is a flag down, I believe, still on his feet, and in the end zone are the Sharks, but we have a ton of whistles going on. I believe even whistles were going as Criscuolo was getting rid of that one. Laundry right there. Yeah, you can see it at the top right of your screen at the 25-yard line. That's where the flag was thrown. Yeah, that time they ran the skinny post, and it was there.
Waiting for the official signal.
A little bit of a discussion here, getting ready to make the call on this one. And I want to say, just judging by the whistles here, John, that play was nullified because I just heard whistles in the middle of the play.
Right.
Did you not?
Must have just been, looks like a false start. Yeah, it was just blown dead before it even happened. The whistle must have just came late.
And I'd like to think, too, now there's a timeout being called by the Bears. So the Bears have called their second timeout. Now, I'd like to think that some of that conference, too, was talking about what official time is left. Because if you remember, that clock was moving on that play, and they probably want to put another few seconds on that clock. Now, here in the booth, the crew here with the Jersey Sharks have 38 seconds left. We would imagine it might be a hair or two more. And that score you see on your screen is correct. We are scoreless here in the second. What's been a very entertaining first half of play, back and forth. The Sharks have really earned or owned the real estate stats in this one. They've had a lot more yards than the Bears, but credit to the Bears defense for holding steady here in the red zone twice in this game, including a goal-to-goal situation.
And the Sharks, if they've established the run, they've got that working. They haven't used it in the red zone just yet. I mean, again, you talked about total yardage. Sharks dominated that so far, but these Bears defensive backs have made play after play. The B in DB stands for Bears right now, and it's working for them. Again, the Bears just haven't been able to capitalize off of those turnovers that they've created in terms of on yardage, on downs. The Sharks have had a couple interceptions that they also weren't able to capitalize off of. But all it might take here is one big defensive play to get down to the goal line, a defensive touchdown. These games usually end pretty ugly. So we'll see if that happens.
Set the stage for you here. It's first down and 15 from the 30-yard line. Unofficially 38 seconds remaining in this first half. So only a handful of plays at most left in this one. And Sharks and the Bears both with one timeout remaining. Criscuolo with Jones to his left. He'll stay in the backfield, look to chip in. And there's a play in the middle of the field, and that'll be a first and goal situation. Now the Sharks are going to try and line up quickly. That was number 87 again making the play. We do not have him on our roster, unfortunately. And we will have a timeout here for the Sharks. It'll be their final timeout with unofficially just over 20 seconds to play.
You'd imagine if you have about that much time, if you have about 20 seconds even, you get 4 shots at the end zone. You get plenty of chances at the end zone here. Use as much clock as you have to. It's been kind of not working when you try to throw that ball out of the end zone from Criscuolo. They've had that out. They've had that streak down the field, but it's just going out of bounds every time. But you get 4 shots at the end zone here if you have this much time.
Yes, I believe you're right. And the ball, of course, spotted at the 8-yard line, at the top of the 8-yard box for soccer here. The yellow lines. And get another look at it here. We'll get you who number 87 is at halftime, but nice play. And something we haven't seen a lot of in this game with the Sharks is working the middle of the field, but it's been there Criscuolo has misfired on a couple of those, but you could see putting it just over the linebacking crew in the middle of the field, and Bears are there to make the play before anything more can go on. But huge moment in the game. Remember, the Sharks get the ball first in the second half as well. So a great opportunity for them to cap this drive, or cap this half with some points. And you'd think here, John, that it will be touchdown or bust. They have not attempted a field goal.
Absolutely, and especially in a game like this where you want to punch it in, and you do get the ball back, so you'll have another chance. But they want to make it take it right here.
They spread the field. They have no timeouts remaining. In motion is Smalley. And they'll roll Criscuolo out. That pass was deflected, and it bounces harmlessly to the turf.
Incomplete.
Unofficially under 20 seconds to play now, and it'll be second and goal.
Out of everything that could have happened, that's on the list of things that aren't that bad to happen because you stop the clock, you get another chance to reset, not intercepted. But great way by that defensive lineman. Go up and just get a hand on it. There's, leave the all-pro guy that you said he should have been. Great play.
Perhaps 87, the intended receiver on that one. Hard to, of course, judge with the deflection, but there was a lot of bodies there on that left side of the end zone. White and blue jerseys together. They work tight here, and now moving over is Cyrier. Criscuolo in trouble, rolling out, and there's the flick pass over to Jones. He stays in bounds at the 3-yard line. And will the Sharks have enough time to line up, potentially spike it, and have a 4th and goal? They are running out of time. And that's it. That is it. They run out of time. And it's drive stalls at the 3-yard line. So the Jersey Sharks once again lose the ball on downs. And for the 3rd time in the game, the Bears hold the Sharks in the red zone, the 2nd time on a goal-to-goal situation, and we remain 0-0 at half.
Tried to make a play, but that might be one you have to throw out the back of the end zone. You had 2 defenders coming in, possibly 3 as well. You go down, you don't have enough time. Obviously, we're not sure exactly how much time was left on the clock, but results in the end of the first half. Both teams scoreless. Sharks have had chance after chance. The Bears, they have stood strong time and time again defensively. But these Sharks, you got to be sick after that one because you had it. You had a couple shots. You got to throw the one out the back of the end zone.
Before we go to a commercial break, we did promise the Jersey Sharks dance team that we'd get their dance routine here at halftime. So we'll keep it here, and then we'll throw it over to a break after their performance. And we'll throw it down to field level for the Jersey Sharks dance and cheerleading team. They make their way over as they will get onto the field. And we'll let our public address music take it away from here. We're 0-0 at halftime. When we come back, more Jersey Sharks football.
Give it up for the Jersey Shark Dance Team.
Jersey Shark Dance Team entertaining us here during halftime. What we will do is we will throw it down to our halftime break. We are scoreless here between the Jersey Sharks and the New York Bears. Stay with us. This is Jersey Sharks football right here on the PDF Sports Network.
Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's comfort provider since 1987. With over 100 factory-trained service and installation personnel and a fleet of over 100 vehicles, we are able to service our customers faster and more effectively than our competitors. Our team of customer care professionals are always on call for an in-home consultation. If you and your family are in need of an installation or service completed by expert technicians, done professionally and efficiently, you need Edison Heating and Cooling. It's what we do.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
This facility the best because there's 5 fields, so you can kind of see a bunch of games going on at the same time. And even though you're looking at certain kids, somebody else can catch your eye at the same time. So it's nice to be able to kind of have an open mind and see people. And we're looking for people that are athletic and can play multiple positions, that are getting dirty, that are playing hard. We want to see a lot of athleticism. That's something we at Fordham are looking for. But at the same time, obviously, we always need pitching. You always need people that can hit balls over the fence. So we're looking at a little bit of everything.
Nice job. Hey, keep making adjustments. We got to keep grinding. You got to find a way with 2 strikes to put the ball in play.
We come to Team New Jersey because it's a local tournament not too far from our home base, and it brings in some great teams from all over the country. We're looking for that unique player, and with those traits, if they have all these different things that they can put together, then it's going to show. It's going to show above everybody else, and that should be everybody's goal. That should be every player's goal, is to say to coaches, hey, here's how I can help you.
Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Representing a seriously injured person requires a lot of research and preparation, but it also means giving hope to the client.
Lombardi Law is always there for you whenever you need them. You can count on them at all times. Lombardi Law gave me hope when I had none.
When you hire the law firm of Lombardi & Lombardi, you're not just hiring one attorney. You're hiring the education, the knowledge, and the experience of all 10 attorneys in this law firm.
Lombardi & Lombardi, representing seriously injured clients since 1973.
Welcome back here to Edison High School, Edison, New Jersey, home field of the Jersey Sharks, where right now we are deadlocked 0-0 after 30 minutes of play here. And, John, perhaps the score unexpected for a lot of people, but knowing how these two teams play defense, perhaps not so shocking that we're 0-0 after a half.
Not at all. And you talk about run stuff. Both teams have only the Sharks really have been stuffing the run, except the Sharks haven't been using the run. The Sharks establish the run, and once they get past the 40, it feels like the run plays in the playbook just kind of get thrown at the back end. But the Bears, they haven't been able to run the football. They haven't been able to move offensively. The Sharks have just missed out on some opportunities, and that's what's resulted in this 0-0 game. But obviously in the second half, you kind of have played the chess match a bit. You figured it out a little bit. You know what looks you like to see offensively. The Sharks, in terms of being able to score, the Sharks have shown the most potential to do so. So they get the ball. They've got a chance to go down the field. We'll see what they do once the next 7 minutes or so come by and the second half gets underway.
Yeah, and that was the question I was going to present to you, John. They've missed out now a couple of goal-to-goal opportunities. They got stopped in the red zone. They've been stopped on downs every offensive drive that they've have. Yet they have put together some good drives. At what point, though, are you concerned by the fact that after these drives, they're just not coming down with points? Eventually, that could catch up to them.
I think you got to be concerned right now. Even when you saw it the second time it happened, you have to be concerned at least a little bit that you're going to be able to punch it in at all. I mean, you don't have to be worried too much because the Bears haven't been working offensively, but all it takes is one play and a guy's going 60 yards down the field in this game for the Bears. And if you're not able to score, you're only able to put up 7 points in this game. All it takes is one of those plays. Again, it seems like this game is one that might be won on a defensive touchdown, might be won on a big defensive play, but you've got to be concerned, even just going forward in the rest of the season, that this Sharks team, you get into the red zone, their red zone offense, it's something that you work on. It's something that is so difficult to figure out if you're not really able to figure it out before the season starts. And again, not a lot of time to practice, not a lot of time to get these guys right. Red zone offense is so difficult, and when you're playing against a team like the Bears, it's tough. So you not just for this game, but for the rest of the season, that's going to be something to watch. The Jersey Sharks red zone offense, how can they figure it out? How can they keep it going? What I would think, you've got to run the ball. You've got to get that going. They have called a ton of plays where Chris Cuolo drops back and receivers are going down the field and he has to throw it out of bounds because he faces pressure. Then you get into a 2nd and long. Then you get into a 3rd and goal from long, and it's just tough. Then you can't run the ball. The Bears know what they're doing. They have a strong secondary, and it's just over from there. So you've got to establish the run a bit in the red zone if you're going to win this game.
And at least they've done some good quality things in the first half to let them believe they're still in a prime position to win this game. But let's flip it, John, and look at the other side. The Bears have not done those things. They've had a couple of plays here and there, but the run game really hasn't worked. They've turned the ball over twice via the pass. What do they have to do to crack the scoring column and try to get themselves out of here with a win?
It seems that you got to trust the defense to get good field position at this point. They haven't stopped the run defensively, which has led the Sharks to just be able to force the Bears, pin them back time and time again. But this Bears offense, I think it's that run. They have to figure out that run a little bit because the passing game has been working. The Sharks love to put pressure on this offense. They send a bunch of extra guys, so a lot of the time you establish the run a little bit off of that if you're able to break through to the second level. So maybe that bubble screen that you saw the Sharks run, the Bears have to kind of get that working. Run those screens, get out into open space, because if they're going to send 6 guys and you get a guy on the outside off a screen, he can go 7 or 8 yards consistently. You've got to start running some more screens, I think, if you're the Bears, because you've got to counter this Shark blitz that has been coming over time and time again.
One thing is for sure, both of these teams have been discussing at halftime how to get on top of a game that is certainly up for grabs on both sides. What we will do, John and I will step aside one final time here at halftime. When we come back, we'll get you the second half kickoff and the rest of Jersey Sharks football here in their home opener against the New York Bears. Stay with us. You are watching Jersey Sharks football on the PDF Sports Network.
East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Welcome back here to Jersey Sharks football on the PDF Sports Network. We are 0-0 at halftime between the New York Bears and the Jersey Sharks in what is the Jersey Sharks home opener. You got a chance to see some of our commercial breaks here during halftime. We want to thank our sponsors for all of their support. Lombardi and Lombardi Law Firm, Edison Heating and Cooling, two primary staple sponsors for the Jersey Sharks. Of course, New Jersey Fast Pitch as well. If not for them, these broadcasts would not happen. So we thank them wholeheartedly, and let's shout them out and make sure we frequent their establishments and utilize their services as well. We're really proud to represent the Jersey Sharks, and of course, it's because they represent the Sharks as well. So we thank them, of course, and also East Coast Trophies and Awards, who are a proud sponsor of everything we do on the PDF Sports Network. So we really feel indebted to them. So thank you for all of them. We get ready to start here the third quarter in a shutout here on both sides. And earlier today, John, a couple of shutouts in the Elite Football Alliance where our partners Joe Foreman and Nicholas Bavona with their crew were there covering everything from Facina. A couple of lopsided scores in those games, but still a lot of great football here on this Saturday.
Absolutely. This is the triple header from PDF as well, so it's been awesome. Maybe this one will be, not as much of a blowout. You get a bit of a closer game, a bit more entertainment for you, but this one's been entertaining already in that first half.
And the Bears will be the team kicking off, but earlier today, the New York Dolphins scored a 32-0 win against the New York Legion, and the New Jersey Gravediggers with a 38-0 win over the Hudson Valley Mountaineers. Those were two games in the EFA to kick off their season. Of course, PDF Sports Network will bring you a EFA Game of the Week on most weeks during the regular season for sure, and then we'll bring you the entire home slate of the Jersey Sharks as well. We are underway here in the third quarter. A skipping ball rolls down, and we have a flag on the play, but getting the edge and getting spilled out of bounds at about the 45 was number 22, Thomas Fabian. As once again, we have extracurriculars going on, flags during and after the play, John.
Looked like some, again, like you said, extracurriculars, some pushing, some shoving, some arm grabbing.
And that's been a theme of this game as well. Some flags after plays. And both teams have been victim of some penalties that have derailed some drives as well, or at least has stopped some progress.
A lot from the Sharks, too. It's mainly, you've seen a lot more often from the Sharks where they're the ones getting called for those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and now it looks like it's going to be on them again. They're backed up already. They already had a penalty before that as well. So instead of being at around closer to the 40, you're at the 20-yard line. And when you haven't really been able to capitalize and get long drives going, this is why maybe those red zone chances aren't as great, because you're getting a bit gassed by the time you get down there since you're starting from your own 20.
And, of course, in a 7-game regular season, every game just so important in this LAL. And we don't know for sure. We haven't been given word of how many teams make the playoffs. We believe it'll be 4 out of the 6 teams in the league. And right now, the Bears, the Sharks, and the Brooklyn Pharaohs all 1-0. The Pharaohs played the Central Jersey Vikings earlier today. Now, we don't have access to any internet other than, what's supporting our broadcast here. But some folks might know who won that game between the Pharaohs and the Central Jersey Vikings. Attempt for them to go to 2-0, and if they won that game, then the Vikings slipped to 0-2. But with only 4 teams making the playoffs, every game just huge. So 1st and 10 from the 30 after all of that. They do proceed to run the football. This is Jones putting his head down and gaining about 3 yards before he stood up by a host of Bears.
There's that run they're going to look to establish in that second half with Jones. He's ready to roll.
Yeah, you wonder if in this second half they will be more methodical with the run. I have to believe, aside from a couple of losses that they had on runs, they were averaging about 6 or 7 yards per carry in that first half. We'll see if they go to the well a little bit more often here. First minute of the second half. They give, once again, up the middle to Jones, who once again powers forward for about a yard or two. It'll make it a 3rd down and a long 4, short 5.
Now the Bears, they understand what's going to happen. They understand that the Sharks will need to use that run on this part of the field if they're going to keep this drive going. They dialed up the defense necessary to stop it.
Did learn that number 87 for the Sharks, who's out on the far side wide, is Nasir Clark. Got his information during halftime. Good pocket here for Chris Criscuolo. He's going to look down the field, and wide open and making the play was Lance Fisher. Somehow he got behind the defensive backfield. Now the pass was a little bit underthrown or perhaps read a little bit late.
Right.
And otherwise he's gone for 6.
A little bit underthrown, and it was a bit of a situation where you weren't sure if Fisher was going to be able to get up and make a play. I mean, took a hit as well, did Criscuolo, and he just made a play on that football.
And Naismith bit on the running back in the flat. There
Yes.
he is, biting down. No safety help up top.
He was pointing, saying, go get him. He did exactly. Bit right on it, wasn't able to get back up.
Meanwhile, Jones spins and twists his way back to the line of scrimmage, plus 1 or 2. So about a 2nd down and a long 8 here. But that's the first big breakdown for the Bears defensively in the backfield. And much like they started the first half, the Sharks marching down the field here. However, the Bears have tightened up every time in the red zone. Let's see what the Sharks have to offer here.
And it's been 4-down offense every time, so that changes the play calling quite a bit in this situation.
Once again, 4 wide here. Criscuolo passing all the way, steps up in the pocket, but he is going to be brought down. Gerard Revange once again with the sack, just a few yards behind the line of scrimmage, but it's going to set up 3rd and 13.
Again, every time the Sharks have been on this part of the field, the Bears defense has made a play, this time by way of the sack.
Yeah, and you can see Criscuolo looking towards his right and the pressure coming from his left, that blind side, and Revange able to take him down. Nice move on the interior.
They only rushed 3 on that play as well. So they might have been expecting another rusher, but just weren't. The left guard wasn't able to pick up that play, that protection.
Sharks will once again go with 3 wide here on the near side. Fisher is the one out wide. They perhaps were looking in that direction. I don't know if that ball got tipped. Looked like it did, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Looks like he took a hit. Looks like he took a hit as well on that play. Whether the ball was tipped or not, he wasn't able to make a play on it.
Yeah, I was watching the routes on that play, John, more so than the pocket, just to see what they do with those trips, if they do some misdirection, if there's a pick play there.
But it's been all pressure from these Bears on this drive. Even on that big play to Fisher, Criscuolo took a hit. So the offensive line struggling to get Criscuolo the proper protection. They just kind of got a break on that one play down the field.
Yeah, and you said it best, getting pressure with just 3 down linemen, that is the kiss of death for a lot of offenses. You got to be able to put 8 guys back there in traffic, and getting home with 3 and even 4 puts you in a good position in semi-pro football. Chris Criscuolo now looking left side, has to tuck it down, now looking middle of the field, and the pass is intercepted. It went over the intended receiver, and here come the Bears the other way. Flags are down, potential block in the back. Meanwhile, the Bears are en route down the far sideline. They'll get it close to midfield, but this one is coming back. Still, though, the hurt came via the turnover, the first turnover of the game for the Sharks.
First interception for Chris Cuolo. Had to make a jump pass because that pressure showed up yet again. They rushed 4 this time, but that pressure was still there. Had to step up, had to take a jump pass, and couldn't get it in the back of the end zone. Had a couple guys there. Looks like there was either a hold or a block in the back. The first one on the right side of the field. Stepped up, tried to make a play. It's like all the way on that right side of the field.
Yeah, I'm just not sure who came down with that one. Yep, and there's the flag. Now, you know, grand scheme of things, that's a 4th and 13. That's not the worst thing to happen. Obviously, the fact that the return was negated certainly helps. But you're going to lose the ball anyway. In fact, you lose it a little further down the field. In fact, that's not the worst turnover in the world. But I'll tell you what does hurt, though, is the Sharks accumulating the total yardage, John, and just coming up empty time after time.
If we had a box score, this would be one of the more interesting box scores you've ever seen with those yardage, not leading to points.
Yeah.
But they call that the arm punt a bit right there. That's what they call that. Now, you create good field position, they're backed up in their own end zone, so it's not the worst interception in the world.
Yeah, and in fact, they are backed up at the 4-yard line here. Bears with their worst starting field position of the game. Just over 11 minutes unofficially here. Left to go in the third quarter. But like John mentioned at halftime, the Bears are just one big play away from seizing control of this game, in a game in which they've otherwise been outplayed, you would think, from a total yardage perspective anyway. First downs as well. Little movement there by the Sharks. This will be a free play. Rodriguez knows it, wants to go over top, and that one is incomplete. Bounced off the hands of a couple of players.
Guess what, everyone? There was a flag on the play.
This is on the Sharks. Is indeed a mistake. Looked like it was going to be a free play.
Abalos was in the neighborhood along with Khalil Daughtry. And they'll move it 5 yards up the field. It'll be a first down and 5. Yeah, I think Rodriguez knew he had a free play the entire way there, John. Just hauled it up there.
Saw the flag come out immediately. Just wasn't sure if one of those plays where the whistle was coming late on that other false start near the end of the first half.
Now the Bears will go trips to the right side, the far side of your screen. They go on the far side of the field in the flat. That's Petty. And Petty getting stood up, but not before he gets the first down. Petty, a big play threat for this Bears team, but I believe that was his first catch of the game.
And that is a Bear first.
They brought out that screen that they got to use when the Sharks bring pressure, and it worked.
It's another point that you mentioned, too, of utilizing that bubble screen or utilizing the play in the flat. Get something going near the line of scrimmage. And they certainly haven't been able to run the ball up the middle today. They tried the jet sweep earlier to try and get the edge as well, but the Bears' running game just hasn't been there tonight.
And 10 for the Bears.
And you have to think at some point in this game, the arm of Juan Rodriguez will have to play a big factor here, and the Bears putting up some points.
Right, if something's broken and you can't fix it, you don't have to keep trying to fix it. If the run's not working, use that screen. Get the ball on the outside. Make your receivers win this game. It looks like the Bears are following that script.
Petty and Abalos are on that right side, and that's the direction that Rodriguez will look, and that one's off the mitts of Abalos. Probably should have had that one.
That'll bring up second down.
Just couldn't hit the numbers on that throw from Rodriguez. He's got to start finding his rhythm. His rhythm has been off. I mean, that pressure has caused that, but it's a play he could have made.
Yeah, but those last two passes, he's gotten the ball out of his hands pretty quickly there, John. So
Right.
You've got to think that at halftime, that was one of the things that was discussed. It's going to be almost impossible for Rodriguez to hang in the pocket and survey the field, look off his first, second, and third reads. He's really got to get rid of the football quickly against this pass rush. Ridley is the lone setback, and he will get this one here on the immediate draw up the middle. Gets about 2 yards on the play, but that's it. Sharks have been stout all game long, right in the middle of that defensive front.
Now you're backed up, too, if you're the Bears. You get a couple yards, you make some room for the punt if you got to go take it. But this is going to be a tough play to convert if you're the New York Bears, but it's becoming crucial as well. You want to get a couple first downs on this drive because the interception ended up leading to you getting backed up. You got the boon of the false start or the offside penalty.
So third down. 8 yards officially here by our count. Going to force Rodriguez to look down the field. Long snap count. He gets it. Does have a good pocket there. Looks it up underneath to Abalos. Abalos makes the play, but he looks to be just short of the first down. Nice job that time by Charles Faulkner III to bring him down. And they are going to move the sticks.
Looks like he did get the yardage.
Yeah. By the naked eye, it looked a little short. But they moved the sticks, and the Bears, their second first down here, after starting this drive at their own 3-yard line. They now have moved it up to the 26.
They moved those sticks late, too. They took their time to call it a first down. Surprised the chain gang didn't come out and actually measure it. But a first down nonetheless for the New York Bears.
So perhaps a swell of confidence now coming from this Bears team, stringing together a couple of first downs. Fake jet sweep. They run it instead up the middle for nothing. Big number 1, James Bronco.
The big note.
That's a loss of 3 or 4 on the play.
That'll bring up
just read it from the get-go. That's one of those plays that you can only bring out a couple times, and for the Sharks to just snuff it out immediately, they are dialed in on this Bears offense right now.
Something that surprised me, too, in this one, John, having seen the Bears a lot, we covered the Bears a great deal last year, is that they haven't put Rodriguez in motion at all too much. And he is very good passer on the run, and he also has some wheels where he can get out there and run the ball himself. They haven't really used him much running the football. Second down and long now. Quick step, 3-step drop, and there's a flag down. And meanwhile, Petty is being held up and gets past the original line of scrimmage, maybe got a couple more.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flag.
We'll see what that flag is as well.
The other thing is number 2, Tyler Petty, who was really a ghost in the first half for the Bears. I didn't really see many passes even in his direction. The penalty was against the Bears, and that's going to back him up a lot further.
But to go back to the point where you talk about getting Rodriguez in motion, when your offensive line is either struggling or the other team is sending a bunch of pressure, that's more of a football 101 where you have to get your guy rolled out, especially when he's facing pressure, throwing the ball high, getting it accurate, get him on the run, get him out of the pocket where he's a bit more comfortable, and find someone to make a play. I am also surprised that they haven't gone to that just yet.
So at first it was a 2nd and 20. Now they backed him up another 5 yards, so it's 2nd and 25. Not ideal here for the Bears, who struggled. Once again, 3 or 4-step drop, and that one just got released funny out of the hands of Rodriguez. The Sharks are contending that was a intentional grounding. Julius Toby was
flag,
and there goes the flag. Now he was arguing his case. It just looked like it came out funny off of Rodriguez's hand. I don't know if we'll get another look at it. It might be a little late, but we'll see.
Might be the classic case of intentional grounding.
Yeah.
When the ball just comes out.
We are going to have a replay. So let's take a look at Rodriguez's arm here coming forward. Looked like he might have just lost control of it.
If that ball doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, you've got to call it.
Nope, we won't have the replay. But that's quite all right here. They are going to back things up, and if that was an intentional grounding, that's a loss of down as well.
Yes.
So
we do get a look.
Now they have 4th down here, but it should be 3rd, no?
That last play was intentional grounding
That ball.
That brings up 4th down, ladies.
No one's in the area. No receivers are in the area at all.
I'm surprised here that this is 4th down. Last play was a 2nd down and 25. Incomplete pass, intentional ground. This should be a 3rd down.
Right.
And I think that's what they're
coming
trying
out.
to. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what they're trying to get to the bottom of here.
I was about to say,
because there were a bunch of people fooled. I don't.
That down is about to come back, maybe, kind of, sort of. Something's happening.
So unofficially, under 6 minutes to go here in the third, a fast-moving third quarter. But the officials here are congregating. The last play was a 2nd and 35, and we didn't get the official signal, but we believe that there was an intentional grounding on the play, and it should be a 3rd down and, I don't know, 30 or something.
I've seen something similar to this with a Little League game where it was out number 2 and both teams just started running off the field. That's what this feels like right now. Good thing that delay wasn't as long as those games can be.
And, John, the ball is spotted at the 5-yard line, and the first down marker's at the 36. So this will be a 3rd down and 31 coming up. Remember, this drive started at the 3.
It's about where it is, basically.
And it got advanced to about the 26-yard line, but here we go. 3rd down and a bunch.
Probably just going to be a run to get maybe a couple extra yards, make room for the punt that was now going to happen anyway, but we'll see.
Remember the eventful snaps on 4th down for the Bears as well on punts. Rodriguez quickly in the flat to Sisson, and he gets stood up outside the 10 to about the 13-yard line. So they do get 8 yards of that back, and they get a little bit more real estate for Dwan Williams to get into his punt. But the Sharks are going to get the ball back in good field position no matter what. And if you're the Bears right now, it's paramount to get this punt away here and get this snap taken care of.
That's the biggest worry because a snap over the head, a snap below can lead to a safety at the very least. And when points are so hard to come by right now, that's a mistake you really don't want to make and you can't afford whatsoever.
I was going to say, John, in a game like this, maybe a safety is all it takes.
2-0.
Yep.
Haven't seen that in a long time.
Usually that's a score when forfeits are involved. You know?
Right. It's usually a score back in, before the forward pass was invented.
Deep men for the Sharks are lined up at about the Bears' 40-yard line. That's a clean snap, a short punt. It is able to see green, but it's taken at the 40-yard line by Roach. Roach making men miss, makes a spin move inside the 20, and the Sharks, with no flags, are going to have a 1st and 10 inside the Bears' 20-yard line. That was,
yep.
Yeah,
the Sharks are going to win this game. If the Sharks are going to win this game, that's how you're going to have to do it. You get a punt that doesn't have a ton of hang time. You get a good bounce on it, and just go get the ball. Go make some guys miss. Go make a play. Thought he might have broke this, but a great tackle to get him down right there as well. Able to get that return.
Yeah, I think that was Justin Sanders, number 19.
Justin Sanders got there.
Roach has been back there as well. He wears number 18. So, by our count, this is the 4th time in the game that the Sharks have been inside the red zone. They're obviously 0 for 3 on their red zone trips tonight. 2 of those going inside the 10 for goal-to-goal situations. Sharks have come up empty each and every time, and the Bears have risen up to the challenge. But here we go. 4th installment of this red zone. The give is underneath to Jones. Jones scampers past the left side, looking to gain that edge. He had to back up and finally refines the line of scrimmage, but that's about it.
He tried to bounce that out, make a play, but sometimes you just got to run north and south and get down and survive to live another down. Luckily, didn't lose too many yards of that play. He must have got back to the line of scrimmage just about, but that run was blown up early.
Staying home was Nigel Swift for the Bears to make a nice play, listed as a wide receiver, but getting in there defensively to interrupt Jones. 2nd and 10.
Sharks on the run.
This time they do take their time getting up to the line of scrimmage here. They'll go with, once again, it's like 4 wide receivers on the right side here.
It's like one of them being Jones.
Yep. Jones is now going to come into the backfield around Chris Guolo, lending in to the blocking help Criscuolo has the pass, almost intercepted. And perhaps it should have been that time by Isaiah Berrios-Smith.
That's going to bring up third down.
Pass was intended for Rob Jackson. And it'll bring up third and long.
Oh, he wants that back right there. We're going to take a look, see if this might have got broken up at all between Berrios-Smith. This should have been an interception, though. That's one you want back from Berrios-Smith. That could have really just changed this game. Right now the Sharks are threatening.
The Bears only sending 3 on that last pass rush, and as a result, Criscuolo had plenty of time to throw there, but when you have 8 defenders sitting back in zone coverage, it gets awful tight back there. So third down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Obviously 4 down territory for the Sharks, 2 plays to get 10. See how many players the Bears bring in this time. They have been able to get pressure with 3 at times. This time they bring 4. Pressure from the blind side, but Criscuolo is going to run. There is a flag down in the backfield. Criscuolo enters the 10-yard line. He does get the first down a little bit more. Now Criscuolo went down weirdly, but it looks like he'll be okay. But looks like this one's coming back, John.
Absolutely looks like it's coming back. When you see the flag come out that early, there's usually a hold, and that's what we got. That's a play that could have got them right down the field, right into the end zone almost, inside the 5. But now they're backed up all the way. And another moment where the Sharks are in the red zone. They've gone down the field. I mean, this time they got here with the way of the punt return, and that's definitely a hold right there. And now they might just be missing another opportunity in this game against the Bears.
So third down and 20. Again, 2 downs to get these 20 yards, but the Bears have been awful stingy defensively, and especially in their half of the field. It's almost been like a tale of 2 games. The Sharks have been very good offensively from their own goal line till about the Bears' 30. After that, Bears have really been winning these battles. Shotgun formation. Criscuolo, heavy pressure. They run the screen over to Jackson. Jackson finds a hole and is getting bottled up, and now bodies flying over top.
They're saying the ball's out.
And the ball was out. It came out late. Now it's down near the 5-yard line now.
I don't see the blue flag from any of the officials.
Well, let's see what the officials are huddling up here. John, we'll see. Coach Walker is screaming on the Bears sideline that this should be Bears football. But it looks like it is going to be spotted down at about the 26, 27-yard line, where it will be a 4th down and 16 coming up.
4th down. After that,
see if we can see the ball pop out at some point. Still battling, still battling. You could see Jones's legs still churning. There goes a body over top.
You can't really see the ball.
No, very hard. And Bears motioning that they have the ball. But check this out, John. We're going for a field goal here. This will be a 44-yard field goal attempt for Anthony Maloney. So on 4th and 16, they bring out Maloney. He's got a big leg. Can't deny that. They come in hard, and it is going to be a fake. They are going to run the fake. They throw it short, incomplete. The attempted passer was Robert Causer. There are no flags, and the Bears will take over.
The Bears look like they snuffed that out immediately. 2 players just pointing, realizing what was going on.
Well, you know, the Bears were coming in hot on that, and I thought maybe there'd be a chance. You could see, look at all those white jerseys
Snap was
and a lot of things going on there. But the Bears did stay home, and even if that was complete, they would be well short of the 1st down. You can see where the sticks are as well. And I believe, John, that we are at the end of the 3rd quarter, if you could believe it. I think that was discussed. Now, on our scoreboard, we had 2:10 left in the 3rd quarter, but yeah, they are switching fields. We are at the end of 3 quarters. Aaron, why don't we take a quick break here? When we come back, 4th quarter action right here live from Edison, New Jersey.
Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's comfort provider since 1987. With over 100 factory-trained service and installation personnel and a fleet of over 100 vehicles, we are able to service our customers faster and more effectively than our competitors. Our team of customer care professionals are always on call for an in-home consultation. If you and your family are in need of an installation or service completed by expert technicians, done professionally and efficiently, you need Edison Heating and Cooling. It's what we do.
Perfectly timed break. We get you ready for the fourth quarter of action. Bears take over after the failed fake field goal attempt. This is Rodriguez, wants the home run, down the field, perfectly thrown ball. It is complete down the field and stopped at about the 35-yard line before they get out of bounds. We knew they wanted to go deep. Coach Morris said it. And that time Rodriguez had the pocket and found who else? Sisson for a huge gain.
When you talk about all it takes is one play to break a game wide open, this could be that play right here. He almost came back around, but he was out of bounds. Almost came back around and got some more yardage. But that's how you flip the field, get all the way down past the 40, and now the Bears are moving in this 0-0 game. All it takes is one strike down the field. Can they capitalize?
And perhaps a little bit of 4-minute offense here for the Bears, as going up the middle with his first carry today is Kenneth Charter, number 21. Minimal gain, if anything, maybe a yard. Bears not wanting to give up on the run game here in the fourth quarter. They keep the clock moving at the very least in what was a very quick-moving third. And we're getting to that part of the game, John, where you think the next score could be the difference. And not a lot of time even for long drives to be established in this one. And Bears feeling good after their biggest play of the game. Whitfield coming back in at running back. The Bears go trips to the left side. Low snap. Rodriguez wants to throw in the flat to Abalos. He has him. Abalos spinning and dancing, getting to about the 30 and stood up there, about 5 yards shy of the first down. A lot of traffic there.
It's a play where it could have been a 2-yard gain, turns into a 5-yard gain. Gang tackling was not working there. He just got some space. He kept pushing forward, kept making a couple guys miss here and there. They've got to wrap up this tackling here in this fourth quarter if they want to win this game for the Sharks.
I think it was Kareem Stewart that ended up getting Abalos down there. Well, he was a part of it. Once again, they go trip left, and that's where they'll pump fake it to Sisson. Now they go the other way. Bodies tangling up, and that one is incomplete. They were looking for Daughtry, and he was double covered there near the pylon.
Tried to make a play on the ball, but again, double coverage. At this point, you took a shot down the field. It worked. You take another one. Now you're in that 3rd and 5, and the Bears, they have a moment here where it's a crucial 3rd and 5 right here.
Not a bad idea, though, by Rodriguez to fake left and go to that right side, but the Sharks were not fooled. They had double coverage there, safety help over top. Nice, sound defensive play, and now the Bears are on the spot here. 4th down and 5. They take their time in the huddle. Obviously, in a play like this, you look for Tyler Petty, who's out wide left, as we are going to have a timeout whistled, taken by the Bears. So the Bears use their first timeout of the second half. We have to reset those timeouts in this second half, but the Bears have just taken their first.
And it's a crucial 3rd down. In this type of game, 0-0, neither offense has been able to make anything really happen past the 40-yard line. You've got to dial up your best play right here. Make a play, make something happen, because it really feels like the first team to score a touchdown is going to win this game.
Yep.
Neither team's been able to drive, neither team's been able to get it working, and they have an opportunity here. You convert this 3rd down. You can even get a field goal if you get close enough, and that might just win you the game as well. So this could be the game right here for the New York Bears.
Yeah, and in a game like this where it's so tight, you'd love to have these timeouts. They're like little gold coins at the end of the game, but you get the sense here, and Coach Walker knows that this is a huge play in the game here for the Bears. Could be, if I'm not mistaken, John, their deepest penetration of the game, if I'm correct, and they might not get here again the way the Sharks have played defense in this game. So you get the sense this is a huge play. They take the timeout. Let's see what they cooked up here on the sideline for this play. Petty is the wideout on the far side. Shisson is in the near side. Rodriguez will look middle of the field, and Abalos drops it. He would have had the first down. Abalos circled right through his hands. Perhaps was sensing the hit, John, but that's a play the Bears have to have.
They have to have that, and it's 4th down and 5. You have the play. It's a strike. Right in the chest as well. That's a moment the Bears want to have back. And that was their chance to go down the field and score and put points on the board for the first time in this game. And now the Sharks, they get the ball back, though.
Yeah, can't really ask for anything better that time for Rodriguez finding Abalos. And Abalos there might have been looking to maybe break that, but if you're right there at the sticks, you just catch that and sit down.
Yep.
And instead, might have taken his eyes off the ball, and Sharks get the ball back. Turnover on downs for the Bears here. Unofficially 12:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Plenty of time and a 0-0 stalemate to this point. 4 wide receivers set for the Sharks. Spread formation. They will give it underneath to Jones. Jones skips over one defender and is then tripped up in the middle of the field. But a good quality gain of 8 yards on the play, maybe 9. The run game has worked for the Sharks, and they want to move quickly. The fake, Criscuolo. Flag on the play. This one might be coming back no matter what. Criscuolo gets the first down, slides into it, but this one might be coming back.
Yeah, when you move around that much as a quarterback for as long as he did, eventually you're probably going to see a holding penalty. And it looks like that's what we got.
Another holding call against the Sharks. And you know, win or lose this game, the Sharks are going to go into this next week looking to clean up the offensive line play and the holding calls here. They have been victimized. I don't have a running count, but I would say that's at least the 4th or 5th hold whistled against this Sharks team here. And it takes a 2nd and 1 and makes it a 2nd and 11. So, you know, you have a 2nd and 1, John, and everything is on the table, play calling wise, and now in 2nd and 11, you're a little bit more limited here. You got to think about getting at least half the distance to this first down knocked out here on this play.
That's what's gotten them time and time again in this game. Just forcing themselves into worse situations, whether that was with a couple of unsportsmanlikes that they've had as well in this game, pinning them back. And now you're seeing it with the hold.
This time they go trips to the left side, and Jones is in motion to join them. Faked it to that side, and here comes Criscuolo now, running for his life on the far sideline, and he is ripped out of bounds. A loss on the play and a sack down the far side of the field.
Tried to make a play, couldn't escape the rush of this Bears defense.
And getting credit for that sack was the punter, DeJuan Williams, who's a tremendous defensive player for this Bears team, part of that vaunted front. So now we get 3rd down and 15. What was a 2nd and 1? Again, you know, first down, John, and again, we've gone to the well with this talk, but first down, you get the run play, you get a 9-yard gain, and then you go to the pass, and you get a holding call, and now a sack. And now you're extremely limited here. Got to go deep in the playbook for something on 3rd and 15. 4 wide receivers once again for the Sharks. It is Jones joining Criscuolo in the backfield. Long count here, Criscuolo. The fake give underneath to Jones, looking, and that one is incomplete. Diving down, looking to get it where the Bears, but it'll be 4th down.
Smalley took a shot. He's down.
He did.
Slow to get up. He immediately went to go take his helmet off.
Yeah, we'll get another look at it.
Pass was intended for Smalley.
Scrollo with decent amount of time. Oh, and there it is, and it's, just a shoulder shot
That'll bring up fourth down.
from Sisson in the backfield, right? That was number 88 playing in the backfield.
Looked like it. It's just looking at a stinger, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't really think that was a defenseless receiver situation. Looked like he did try to hold up there, just caught Smalley in the wrong spot, high up in the chest area, and that's a good sign here. Gets up under his own power, walked off with the training staff and head coach Mora. And the Sharks will go 3 and out after stopping the Bears on downs.
This is also a near interception as well. It was a dangerous pass down the field. He got a hand on it at least, but Sharks still have possession. If they were, they've been going for it in some tough situations, but they will go with the punt.
Maloney will punt. Abalos is back deep to field it for the Bears. He's at about his own 45. That's a good punt. It backs Abalos up, and that's going to take a Sharks bounce. And it's down at the 23-yard line, 52-yard punt, no return. And the Bears will have it at their own 23-yard line with unofficially 11-12 remaining in the fourth quarter in a 0-0 game.
When you talk about punting, that's what you want to see. You want to see that good roll, get it all the way down the field, and that's what the Sharks needed right there. They were backed up, tough situation, put themselves in it. But now the Bears, who have not been humming offensively, have not been in their rhythm at all, are now backed up deep on their own side.
Yep, and you wonder, Abalos was the player back deep, and he was the one who dropped that fourth down pass, and you just wonder if that was in his head when he didn't play that punt and let it bounce on the turf. I kind of agree with the decision he made. Unfortunately, it took a bad bounce, but still, that's a 20-yard difference on that bounce. But here we go. The Bears in a 0-0 game go with trips right here against the stingy Sharks defense. Rodriguez looks left but goes right, and he finds his receiver. Looks like Petty, and Petty gets smashed at the 45-yard line, but still a nice pass and a nice hookup. Rodriguez to Tyler Petty.
Surprised Petty was able to hold on to that football after that big hit that just came right from behind him. Great way to hold on to the football, make the catch, make a play. And the Bears, very similar story. Not as far down the field, but they start out, they get a pass, they go down the field, get much better field position, almost flip the field. But this is the part where the Bears offense is slowed down after a big play like that. Can this be the time in this game in the fourth quarter where it's really coming down to it, where the Bears can get things rocking?
Well, they got the yardage back from where the punt landed, 21-yard gain on that play. Ridley is back deep with Rodriguez, who looks at the armband. And the give is going to be underneath. Not much there. As stood up, ball came out late.
Straight up the middle into a wall.
But once again, first one there, and the one finishing it off was Amir Kofer, number 97. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
The Bears, again, they got stuffed right after making a big play, and now they're in a tougher situation. 2nd and longer. Will the Bears get something clicking?
Yeah, they've used some misdirection in the passing game to really open things up. Let's see if that's what they're discussing here. Taking a long time here in this huddle. Not sure what the play clock is, of course, but clock is running here with 9:45 to go in the fourth. Of course, that is unofficial. Official time being kept on the field.
2nd and 10.
Jesse Acevedo in the backfield now for the Bears for the first time. The fake on the jet sweep. That one's hit over top and incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
Petty was the intended receiver again. Once again, two Sharks players in the backfield. Robert Causer and number 24, Dimitri Wilson, who has an interception in this game. In on the coverage, 3rd and 10.
It's always two Sharks players in the backfield, two Sharks players on wherever the intended receiver is. That's how it's been looking in this game for the Sharks. I mean, that ball had a ton of air on it, had a ton of zip, just a little too out far from the receiver. He wasn't able to catch up to it. Almost hit him in stride, though.
Good positioning, too, by the defensive backfield. Both defensive backfields have done pretty well in this game. We haven't seen any interference calls. There's a pass down the middle, and the catch is made. And here comes a little bit more. And getting popped at about the 35-yard line was Khalil Daughtry. I believe that's his second catch of the game. Daughtry in the middle of traffic, but a nice poised pass by Juan Rodriguez.
Exactly. He just dropped back and make a play. And he took a shot on this play, too, did Daughtry. But great job by Rodriguez to fake right, hit the middle of the field, and Daughtry made the rest happen and made the rest work. Again, took a big hit, but he's past the 40 for this Bears offense.
Kareem Stewart had the initial hit, and then he was polished off, was Daughtry. But the ball inside the Sharks' 35-yard line, officially the 34, 1st and 10. Acevedo again is the running back. In there to help out with some protection. That ball elevated and incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
Petty was once again the intended receiver. Just too elevated for him. 2nd down and 10.
This is where the Bears would really like to have a run game established at this point of the field, at this point of the game, where you have 2nd down and 10, 1st down and 10 to get a bit closer to the end zone, a bit closer to moving the chains. But now they've kind of established their identity right now as a passing offense, as an air raid offense right now. And the Sharks, once they get to this point of the field, have been stout.
And they've done a much better job of, A, keeping him protected, but B, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Rodriguez was kind of sitting in the pocket a little bit more in the first half, but nothing doing there. The pressure too great. Acevedo remains in the game at running back. We have movement up front. Fingers point in both directions, but it'll be a false start against the Bears. That's a big penalty here. Backs him up to 2nd and 15.
Crucial mistake. You had a 2nd and 10, and now you're backed up. This is where both teams have had similar issues with the false start. It led to them having to back themselves up when they have a prime scoring opportunity.
Approaching the midway point unofficially of this 4th quarter in a scoreless game. Bears have not been in the Sharks' red zone tonight. But here they are on 2nd and 15. Another look off on the left side. They go right in the direction of Petty once again. That pass is complete. Brought down promptly that time by Carden. But they get most of that back, and now it's 3rd down and about 6 or 7.
3rd and 6.
Great way to just sit there and hang on to the ball, too. Had the arm right in there, did the defensive back. He just held on to that football.
Bears taking their time here, and why not? Exhausting clock as they move on up. Inside the 30-yard line of the Sharks, they need a long 6 for the 1st down. 2 downs to get it. Rodriguez looks right side. He wants to go in the flat. He finds Abalos. Abalos dancing at the 30. Gets away from one man and extends for the 1st down. He's way short. And now we have a very late flag coming in. That flag was thrown directly at Khalil Daughtry in the Bears number 12. Perhaps a late hold or a grab of the jersey trying to spring out Abalos.
Official threw that flag like he was trying to make a play from center field to second base. He hurled that thing.
Kareem Stewart got up a little slowly for the Sharks, but he's back on to his feet. And you see it right away, Abalos there, and we'll try to pick up 12 on the play in white.
Against the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw it there late. Maybe we'll get one more look at it, Aaron, if we can, and try to pick up.
I didn't see anything too
Daughtry.
Egregious.
Yeah, I didn't really see it. I didn't really think that merited a 15-yard penalty. We'll see.
15-yard penalty. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
There he is, right at the 20-yard line. That's where Daughtry is right now. And let's see what he does here. Took a shot at him, but I don't know. I don't like the call.
Right. Can you view him as defenseless there? You're not too sure.
3rd down, 20 yards. Rodriguez, middle of the field to Abalos. Finds his man. He's going to be close to the 1st down. He's just short. It will be a 4th down, but Abalos shorthanded in traffic. That time makes the play, and Stewart took him down right before the sticks.
Seems like the ball never lies when it comes to a penalty like that, because they're right back in the same position. They're going to go for it, obviously, you'd imagine.
4th and a long 1 or a short 2. The first down marker looks like it's the 23.5-yard line, maybe just outside the 23. Ball is spotted right at the 25. So call this a long 1, a short 2. But, man, what a play here.
Now, your run game hasn't worked, but this is a play where your run game can finally show out. But now you've got an empty set, so maybe not. They're going to throw the ball.
And watch out for Rodriguez taking off. He does have wheels as a quarterback. But he's going to look in the flat. Catch is made. And the Sharks are able to make the tackle, but they move the sticks. And I could be wrong. That was Sisson with the catch. But is that our first 4th down conversion of the game, John?
I believe so. We've had a lot of 4th down attempts.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time we've seen it.
I think that could be the first 4th down conversion of the game. And for the first time in tonight's game, the Bears are in the Sharks' red zone. Now getting up very slowly is a Bears player. And it's actually Sisson who made the catch and got the first down. Looks like he might be cramping up there. He's asking for some water.
Right.
They'll get it to him.
He came back near the huddle and went down. But the Bears, originally you saw the replay before, they dialed up the money play. Right to him, quick out. That's what's been working for the New York Bears. It's that play we've seen.
Yeah, it's just a 5 yards and out. And just simple play there. You practice that over and over, and give credit to Rodriguez putting that up over the top of the defensive line with their arms outstretched and making the play. While we have a little bit of time, John, why don't we look at what's coming up for us on PDF over the next couple of weeks. As next weekend, we will be in Brooklyn to see the Empire State Demon Knights take on the New York Dolphins in Elite Football Alliance's game of the week. The Dolphins, the home team in that one. We're still waiting on start time there at Franklin Lane High School in Brooklyn. And then on Thursday, we have Thursday Night Lights, high school football, as the Old Bridge Knights take on the Woodbridge High School football team. And first varsity game for those two teams of their 2024 season. Old Bridge Knights, a client of PDF Sportsnet this season, will be covering 5 of their home games this year. So Old Bridge High School football makes its debut on PDF Sports Network, and those are our 2 upcoming games here on the network. And, of course, we'll be back here in September for more Jersey Sharks football and their final home game in October against the Brooklyn Pharaohs as well on the schedule. So plenty of football here on the PDF Sports Network. I was almost going to say the PDF Football Network.
Basically is right now.
That's what we are until hockey starts as well.
Right, that's coming.
Here we go, 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the Bears. Rodriguez, a nice long look, middle of the field, and that one's intercepted. It was thrown right to the Sharks, and it was Stewart who made the grab, and what a huge play. The Sharks get the ball back on the Bears' 3rd turnover of the game.
Just missed the receiver, went right over, and the lurk from the Sharks went for the end zone and right to him. Wow.
Yeah, I think that was Abalos who was the intended receiver. Let's see where Abalos is and whether he doesn't break in or...
He doesn't.
He was on this side.
He might have been held a little bit as well. But does look like a miscommunication. I think
there's Abalos.
Right.
And he is breaking in.
He's trying to.
That pass is way overthrown. It looked like Abalos was trying to look to run under it. Instead, it was thrown over top. Now, you make the call. There's Abalos breaking at the 15-yard line. Is he being held right now by number 25, Eric Marmolejos? I don't know if it mattered. That ball was just not in the place, but what a great look from Aaron Cohen, our engineer here, and Vinny upstairs with the great camera work.
He's probably trying to break sooner on that ball. But there is no penalty, and the Sharks have the football, so it's all just talk and conjecture now.
Sharks got a game to win, and it's 5 minutes left. Can they do it? Can they pull it off as Jones goes up the middle for a gain of about 2?
Now it's kind of getting late to run the ball. when you haven't been moving it, but you still have some time, about just over 4.5 minutes left to go. Someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to step up, make a play for this Sharks offense, and just get this thing over with for the Jersey Sharks. Both teams have been battling, but now they've got a chance.
And the clock is moving here. We are under 4.5 to go. Again, that's unofficial, but our clock here in the booth has been pretty accurate here, within 30 seconds to a minute. We're pretty confident that this is close. Of course, we will have a stoppage at the 2-minute warning. Second down and a long 7. Criscuolo, plenty of time. Bears only rush 3. They go in the flat, and that is Jones. Jones making men miss. Gets the first down and gets to the 35-yard line. And a nice job by Criscuolo to really check in with his safety valve. That was Jones underneath. He chipped in on the block and then found himself in open space.
And when you get Jones in open space, good things are going to happen. Again, like you mentioned, great job by Criscuolo to just hang in, make the throw at the perfect time. No defensive lineman in the AO. And Jones makes a play.
Jones back to live action, is able to string it out to the left side. Thought he was dead to rights, but was able to get back 7 yards on that play, 7-8 yards. Maybe more. Actually, he's right at the sticks, 2nd down and 1.
And that is a shot.
And they are moving the sticks.
That is a shot.
Yes. So ball's at the 45-yard line. A little generous spot there, but 1st and 10. Here come the Sharks. 3.5 minutes to go. They give underneath once again. That time gets bottled up, but still springs forward for about 2 yards.
Jones with a carry once again. Pickup of 2, bringing up 2nd and 8.
That time,
to go in the fourth
ball
quarter.
carrier that time was Thomas Fabian, as giving Jones a blow on the sideline. Fabian comes in now lined up to the left of Criscuolo. Criscuolo's going to pass this time. Looking short, right side. The hookup is made. Close to a first down, and now they get away, and there's another first down. It was a flag down on the play.
That is a Shark first down.
Devon Hemingway was able to get away. See if we get another look at it.
Trying to see where that flag could have been.
I don't know if we'll get another look at it, John, but
it will be against the Sharks.
it is against the Sharks, so it turns a 2nd and 8 into a 2nd and 18, unless the hold came further up the field, and it looks like it did, because they're walking it off from inside Bears territory. So we're going to look at about a 2nd and 13. It might have been right here. It's like a Bears player got sandwiched.
Yep.
So the hold came up the field, so 10 yards from the spot of the foul makes it a 2nd down and a long 12 on the play. Negated a great play by Hemingway to spring out of that tackle, take it in for extra yards. Now 2 running backs in the backfield with Criscuolo. We haven't seen this often. Pacing out to the left is Jones. And coming in motion is Sirio. Criscuolo looking to run, now puts it up, and that one's knocked away. Flags are down. It came from all the way deep in the backfield here. So clock will stop again.
Stop me if you heard this before.
Sirio was the intended receiver.
There's a flag.
A game that has seen a lot of laundry sees another one, and this one might go the Sharks' direction. It came from deep in the backfield. Back judge. And we have a stoppage. 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
So they get the 2-minute warning out of the way first, and then we will see the result of this penalty.
Wait to see how far the Sharks may be backed up now, or however this is going to work out. But you mentioned the laundry, they're going to move up.
If it's a pass interference, this is an automatic first down. Now,
that would be.
I didn't see an actual call here. And right now, yes, they are waving for a first down. So the ball is at the Bears' 45-yard line. And, you know, John, I don't know how serious the Sharks were about it, but earlier in the third quarter, they lined up for what would have been a 44-yard field goal by Maloney. Now, they ended up faking the field goal, perhaps by design, or most likely by design. But you wonder how far up the field this ball has to travel for the Sharks to feel confident about a game-winning field goal here. It's on the table.
They had it at the 15 and decided not to kick the field goal earlier in the game. Seems like the 10-yard line may be the target spot, but they may take it from longer based on how much time is left.
2 in the backfield. The give is to Jones. Gets held up, springs it right side. Gains the 40, gains the 35, the 30. He's put out of bounds, but there will be another flag.
Oh, man.
That'll be a Shark first down.
I feel like I'm in a time loop of sorts with seeing a great play, then seeing a penalty.
Well, it did take a little bit of time to develop that hole for Jones, who had to bounce it off to the right side. And in a game dominated by penalties, here's another one. Another holding call against the Sharks will make it a 1st and 20 and negate the big run by Jones.
Seems like there's been more penalty yardage than actual yardage in this game.
Getting to that, especially here in the second half. Now, it didn't go back the full 10 yards, so it's had penalty up the field. So it'll be a 1st down and 18 on this play. And the Sharks back in their own area of the field. 1st and 18.
1st and 18.
Jones remains the lone setback with Criscuolo. Trips to the left side. And now Jones will join the crew on that left side. They spring it out underneath to Hemingway. Hemingway making a couple men miss, but a minimal gain on the play, about 3. Excuse me, that was Thomas Fabian. That was my fault. 22, not 23. So Fabian makes the play. And it will be a timeout for the Sharks. Now unofficially 1:14 remaining here in the game. Now, looking ahead, John, we do not know the overtime rules in the LAL. But for the Sharks anyway, they want to make sure they do not give the Bears any time on the clock. The Bears have 2 timeouts on their own. Sharks have taken their first timeout, so they're down to 2.
It's a tough kind of thing to balance where you're not exactly sure if you're going to score, but you don't want to give the other team the ball back, but you want to take a big risk and make a play.
1:42 remaining. Officially, that was relayed to us up here. So, by all accounts, John, plenty of time to run multiple plays. But if you're the Sharks here, in the back of your mind, you have a 2nd down and 15 here. So, you know, number one goal here is you have to pick up the 1st down, get yourself, it's about the 30, 35-yard line here to give yourself a couple of chances, either at some passes in the end zone or at least to work 5 yards at a time. But right now you need 15.
The Sharks have to focus on getting the 1st down, getting closer somewhere because they're not in field goal range just yet. But you've got to get somebody in space and make something happen.
Fabian stays in the game, covering up the left tackle here, probably to pitch in and help out. In the backfield now is Rob Jackson with Criscuolo. So Jones out. Criscuolo, plenty of time, looks in the flat, finds Fabian. Fabian to the 40, hops over 1, gets spilled out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Nice hurdle over number 23, Uriah Clark. Puts them closer to the 1st down, but they're still a little short. 3rd and 2.
They picked up about as many yards as you could realistically want right there. You put your receiving back in the game. You say, we need to play. We need to get some yards. And the Sharks find a way down the field without a penalty, and now they're at a 3rd and 2.
And the clock did stop after that last out-of-bounds play. 3rd down and 2. Now we have a whistle here, and you wonder if there's a timeout being called. Let's see the official. I think it was taken by the Bears. I'm not sure, though. John, did you see what direction?
I didn't see a signal at all.
We have a motivational speech going on in the middle of the field.
I would guess this timeout was taken by the Bears because the Sharks were running a play. They were all intent on running a play. So we're going to take a guess that that was the Bears timeout. They're second. They have one remaining. Now, unofficially, 1:10 is on our clock, but the clock did run a little bit more.
You're not sure when the clock was stopped after that timeout, but again, minute 10 at this part of the field. You just want to make a play. They've got time left to really do just about anything at this part of the field. But we'll see what the Sharks are able to do offensively if they can find something. But again, at this point of the field, you want to avoid overtime, especially against a tough team defensively when you're not able to score. You really want to avoid overtime when you have an opportunity right here to end the game. If you can get far enough down the field, if you can give your kicker Maloney a chance at a field goal at the very least, you've got to make a play.
Yep. A lot on the table here because the other question is this. For the Sharks, you don't want to think about having to, but then if you don't get it here, on 4th and 2, you could still punt and pin the Bears back deep. You could obviously still go for it. There's still a lot going on. But I'd love to get the first down here, that's for sure. Jackson continues to be the man in the backfield with Criscuolo. And that is taken by Jackson. I don't even know if that was by design, but the first down is made at the 30. Now clock is running, and that is a timeout. So a timeout has been taken by the Sharks. That's their second. They'll have one remaining. And on that last play, John, it was a really bad snap. It kind of trickled in on Criscuolo, and Jackson just picked it up and ran straight.
Seemed like it was still a run play from the get-go, but it was almost a perfect bounce on that snap.
Things have changed. Don't use that. Go to PDF's Facebook page.
It's a perfect snap, basically, right to the quarterback, and he just picked it up, gave it to his running back, and now the Sharks are in business with a first down at this point in the game. They had to call their timeout. They have one remaining as well. And now the Sharks, do you still work the middle of the field, or do you try to just take shots at the end zone here with just about a minute left to go here in this game for the New Jersey Sharks? But you also look at the standings. In terms of the standings, we've talked about it pregame. This game matters in terms of dominating the standings. These are arguably the two top teams in the entire LAL. And this is the game early in the season where you get a chance to establish your dominance over the standings. You can advance to 2-0. And when four teams make the playoffs, you want to be 2-0 at this point of the season.
1 minute remaining. First down and 10 from the 30. The fake in the flat. Criscuolo looks middle of the field. The pass is caught. That was Clark. Close to the first down. Doesn't really matter. They need to get some plays off here. 45 seconds and counting. Second down and 2 officially. Unofficially, 38 seconds and counting remaining. Criscuolo looking middle of the field once again. Catch is made, and that is a first down. Serrier making the catch. Ball's at the 16-yard line. The Sharks have used their final timeout. Now, on our scoreboard here in the booth, John, 27 seconds left. But I have my eyes on the officials who may relay the official time to us up here. I have the binoculars out. I'm looking at everybody.
Right. Because if there was 27 seconds left, I feel that's an early timeout called by the Sharks, if that is how much time's left. Because you definitely, if you're going to take the field goal, you want to set that up.
Now, I'm going to think here with no timeouts remaining, you are taking 3, potentially 4 shots here in the end zone. You can afford to maybe get a slant pattern to get you in towards the 10, maybe spike it, but then you risk not being able to run 4 full plays.
Maloney's warming up on the field. It looks like they fully intend on him taking this kick. Because last time he was warming up, he wasn't using any footballs. This time he's kicking. He's got a man with him, helping him out, returning these balls. He's warming up. He's been warming up for a good while now.
What a war between these two teams. 0-0 here. Not the cleanest game in the world. There have been turnovers. There have been a plethora of flags in this game, but what a game. What a game these two teams have given us here. Just a complete battle. And maybe, just maybe, a preview of a playoff match down the road. Trips left side. 1st and 10. Sharks are out of timeouts. 27 seconds to go. Criscolo in the end zone, close. It was broken up. And we have a flag down, multiple flags down. We are going to get another look at this, perhaps a hit on a defenseless receiver. I'm not sure about this, John. From the naked eye, it looked like a good defensive play that was made. But let's see.
Oh, Dave, I think he
on
went
a second
high.
Look. He went high
on that tackle.
But was it to disrupt the ball? I think he's going ball there, John. I mean, it's so hard to see. But he's extending for this ball, and he actually does make contact with it, if I'm not mistaken. Now, maybe the face mask, maybe he might have caught a bit of the face mask.
I think so.
Coming down. That was Sisson, who's played on both sides of the ball here tonight.
Because if he's there, he's making a play, even if it's on the ball. If he gets a hand over that face mask or clutches it in any way.
It looks like on the way down right there, John, he might have caught a piece of the face mask.
He's
right
all
there,
over
you
it.
could see the
He's
tongue.
all over the face mask, and the official's right there in front of it. You have to make that call.
So half the distance here to the goal will put the ball at the 8-yard line. Now, by our count, we have 22 seconds remaining. And lost in all that was that Hemingway got up very slowly but did get up for the Sharks. So that's a good sign. So good to see Devin get up there.
And you gain all those yards without moving the clock whatsoever. A perfect storm for the Sharks here late in this game.
And because it was a personal foul, it's an automatic first down as well.
Right.
So 1st and goal from the 8. And essentially, the Sharks should have plenty of time to run 4 plays if they throw 4 times in the end zone. We'll see.
You have to get the ball out quick, though, because a sack could end regulation. And they've been prone to that a few times in this game.
Timeout is called by the Bears, so they'll use their final timeout.
It's a great timeout because you have to see that look and then change your defense accordingly. If you've got that, that's one way to use your golden coins at the end of the game.
Yep.
You get to see what offense they want to run. You're in a potentially game-winning play for the Jersey Sharks.
Yep. And we should mention, as we have many times, that Anthony Maloney has been warming up on the Sharks sideline for a potential game-winning field goal. You would assume that the Sharks are going to look to punch this in to the end zone and get out of here with a win via the walk-off touchdown, perhaps, maybe after a kickoff and such, but for all intents and purposes, a walk-off touchdown. But just in case, if the ball is maybe put in play and the Sharks are forced to spike it to get another playoff, maybe they do trot out Maloney for the game winner.
You're within his range based on what we've been seeing on the sideline. You just got to get the ball up at this point of the field. It's a makeable kick, but obviously anything can happen here in the LAL.
And if you're the Bears now, decisions on what to do as far as a pass rush here. We've seen them drop 8 in coverage and only rush the 3. Chris Cuolo has had time when that has happened. They have gotten pressure with 3 or 4. Do you bring in an extra pass rusher here to try and disrupt something short? So many things going on. Here we go, 1st and goal. Chris Cuolo taking his time, barking out the orders.
Their safety's down right now. They don't have any safety in the middle.
They feign the blitz. Low snap. Chris Cuolo. Back of the end zone. Is he in? Touchdown! Flags are down after the play, but Shamar Syrie has given the Sharks a 6-0 lead. I believe this play will stand, John. And with unofficially 16 seconds to go, the Sharks have the lead, and we will need to see some replays of this to see Syrie's feet in bounds. Do we have it? No, we don't have it. Okay.
The call
That's
is a touchdown, obviously.
Well, you
Flag
folks at home on the YouTube feed can easily go back and many times and see whether or not Syrier's feet are inbounds. Remember, in the LAL, you have to have 2 feet inbounds. Now, there is a long discussion here. And remember the PAT rules here. It's a 6-0 game, and, of course, the Bears are going to have to find a miracle here to come back and win this here in the dying seconds. But we'll see what they decide to do.
So if that flag is what I'm assuming would be an excessive celebration after the play, that would back up whatever attempt this would be.
And it
by
is,
quite a margin.
well, on both teams. So
touchdown.
Yeah,
signal.
It's touchdown. Both teams unsportsmanlike conduct after the play.
So they offset.
Although the Sharks are moving backwards.
So maybe not.
So the score, New York Bears 0.
And the ball is going to be spotted at the 15. So maybe the Sharks were guilty of, the only ones guilty of the unsportsmanlike. We'll see. But they are going to attempt the 2-point conversion, which is a kick in the LAL. The equivalent of what is a 33-yard field goal. It is a line driver that goes underneath the uprights. So the score remains 6-0. And again, my eyes will be affixed on the officials to see exactly how much time is left in this one. Unofficially, we have 16.8 seconds.
Because here's the thing. If the Bears, by whatever miracle needs to happen, score a touchdown, they would get a chance at a 1-point conversion as a regular 2-point conversion in the NFL and such. They just have to punch it in, and they win the game.
Yep. Now, kind of understand it, because if the Bears do not have a place kicker, then seemingly by kicking the 2-point extra point, you would have just won the game, right? Because the Bears would not be able to, even if they scored a touchdown, be able to kick a 2-point conversion. But they missed it. So now this game is still up for grabs, and the Bears are going to need something, and they're hoping the rabbit is in the hat. And for the Sharks now, some decisions too, because we know Maloney has a leg, that's for sure. But do you squib it? Do you squib this one? Do you force time to go off the clock? Not allow the deep guys to get a chance to get ahead of steam and go down the field? Games within the game. Go ahead, John.
I think you just pinned it back as far as possible.
Yep.
Because if you run the clock, it only gets to about 10 seconds. You give it to the middle of the field. Rodriguez can get the ball pretty far down the field. If you get it to about the 50, if there's a good return here. If there was about 5 seconds, 6 seconds left on the clock, you squib it. But from this point of the field, you have to just pin the back as far as possible. Make them get a miracle hook and ladder here at Edison.
And we were not given an official time, so we have to think that ours is official. 17 seconds. Look at that kick. All the way down to the 3-yard line. But Sisson will have an opportunity. Gets past the 20. 25, roped out of bounds at just shy of the 30 with 8 seconds remaining in the game. So the Bears, with no timeouts, pushing and shoving going on, but no timeouts left, you would think they have one play here, John. Unless they go 10 and out and get themselves 10 yards closer to a touchdown here, this is going to have to be a one-play drive for the Bears.
And you have to see a lot of laterals that are going to happen. It's going to take quite the miracle for the Bears, but we have seen stranger things happen in football.
So you folks at home can make the judge of whether these two teams you think will be fixing to play again in the playoffs, but this is their one and only meeting in the regular season. And a game that could lead to playoff implications down the road. Last year's LAL champs versus last year's EFA champs is part of week 2 in the LAL. And, man, this lived up to the billing. What a game.
Absolutely. Didn't hit the scoring expectation that we might have expected here in this game. But in terms of a back-and-forth matchup between the two titans of the LAL, the newly invited New York Bears have shown they can compete this season. And they're right here in a one-possession game with the team at the top of the mountain here in the Jersey Sharks. So great showing by the Bears to play defensively so well.
Sharks are only 3 at the line of scrimmage and 3 deep safeties here. Rodriguez will look in the flat, and it will be caught and out of bounds.
Pass complete.
By
4 seconds off the clock.
that was number 12, Khalil Daughtry. So it gets them a few yards closer, unofficially 4.1 seconds to
That'll
go.
bring up 2nd and 3 for the Bears.
So now you're looking at a 65-yard play to try and get in the end zone. The Sharks yielded only a touchdown last week against the Long Island Red Devils, looking to get themselves a shutout here in week 2. Start their season 2-0. Rodriguez, clean pocket, looks middle of the field, Abalos, and the ball squirted out. The Bears cannot stop the clock, and that could be it. Now, I think that's it. And the Sharks are going to line it up, and they will take it. We've gone final here in Edison. The Sharks, it took 59 minutes and 30-plus seconds, but the Sharks managed to get past the Bears in their home opener 6-0.
This is football. Any way you can win a game, any way you can find a way to win the battles in the trenches, they just scrounge one together, scavenge a victory, and find a way to win. The Jersey Sharks did that. Doesn't matter how you win it. It all shows up the same in the W and L column. The Jersey Sharks are 2-0. It doesn't matter if they won 32-6. They won. They beat the New York Bears, a team that knows how to win a championship, and the Sharks continue to win on their path to repeating here in the LAL.
Yeah, they had to sweat it out. It was, like we said before, maybe not the most polished game for the Sharks. There were turnovers by both teams in this game. There were a lot of flags. There were a lot of things to clean up on both sides here. Of course, some feelings now going on after the game as well. But you could see a rivalry is born here, John. These two teams met last year in the preseason, a 13-12 final in that game, won by the Sharks. Here they go, meeting in a game that officially counts for the win and loss column 6-0. But you could see that something is brewing here, that this is going to be a very good matchup down the road and potentially for years to come. They gave us every bit of what was billed, and just a fantastic game. And for the Sharks, John, 6-0. Mistakes aplenty, certainly things to look back on. But all things considered, they did seem like the better side for 60 minutes in this one.
Absolutely. They established the run early on. Again, it's just about capitalizing on opportunities, about finishing in the red zone often. I mean, this is a game. You came out, you won the game. You found, yes, mistake after mistake, penalties and everything. There's a ton to clean up. But they did look like the better team. They played better in terms of running the ball. Their blitzing was great. Their pass rush was working. Sure, penalties got to get cleaned up and all of that. But the Sharks, again, you're 2-0. You head into next week. You head into your next matchup. And you've got a great chance to make the postseason now and a great chance to get a high seed onto a repeat because you took down one of the toughest teams on your bill here in the New York Bears. Again, doesn't matter how you win it. The New Jersey Sharks came out. They looked like the better team. And they came out and won the game here in the LAL.
Absolutely, and we will be back in mid-September to see the Jersey Sharks again. They will face off against the Long Island Red Devils. We'll get them again in October when they face off against the Brooklyn Pharaohs. And should the Jersey Sharks host playoff games, we are going to get them to we are the official home of the LAL defending champs, Jersey Sharks, and we get to celebrate a win in the first coverage for PDF Sports. 6-0. Couldn't have asked for a better game. So that will pretty much do it for us. We have a lot of people to thank. We want to thank everybody in the Sharks organization from setting us up here, for giving us the information that we needed, setting us up, rosters and field usage, and all the great people here at Edison High School really rolling out the red carpet for us. We had a spectacular team here in the press box, keeping time and score and down and distance and all that other great stuff. So we thank everybody in the Jersey Sharks organization. But we have a spectacular staff here, John. We're small, but we're mighty. Vincent Massacol is up above us on the roof, getting us all of our looks here on camera. Did a spectacular job. Aaron Cohen, our engineer tonight. Fantastic job, Aaron. Thank you so much. John McCooch, thank you for joining us here on the color commentary. I want to kind of thank our hotspot here for really keeping us on the air, especially through the rain here. Thank you, AT AT&T for that. So for everybody here on the crew, my name is David Pizzuto. Thank you for joining us here for Jersey Sharks football. Once again, your final score, Jersey Sharks improved to 2-0 with a 6-0 win over the Bears, who now level out to 1-1. Thank you for joining us. This has been Jersey Sharks football right here on your home, PDF Sports Network.